All right.
All right.
Welcome to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Elias.
Me, Robert. Hello.
In collaboration with 21 Draw. So if you want to 21 up your artistic superpower, check out 21-draw.com.
Or Instagram at 21draw. See.
Also, if you haven't had the chance to check out our Discord on Discord, you can do that. We've created a little community of our Sketchbook Heroes fans. Family and friends. Like, it's a big mix. And there's even people on there that have never listened to the podcast.
Which is okay.
And they were like, I've seen that movie, basically. and it's super cool. And everyone's super nice. We have a selfie group that is like the most active one out of all the things. Yeah. But you have the ability to, draw together with sound and multiple people at the same time. And it's epic. So check out the Sketchbook Heroes Instagram page for the link or send us a DM anywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
And with that said,
let's do the proper introduction, shall we?
Proper introduction?
Because today, the duo has become a trio.
Exactly. The man, the myth, the legend, the 2D animator,
Mattias!
That's also an illustrator and, and a game artist.
And just an awesome dude.
Yes. Hi. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for being here, my
friend.
friend.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for all the awesome animations that you've made for us.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, it's like we are beyond fucking grateful. It's the most awesome thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. I don't have kids, but I assume it's what it feels like when you have a child. That's the feeling I get whenever I see an animation that you've done.
I mean, that's the thing. Yes. Nothing tops that, I guess.
No.
So, I mean, yeah, you're settled. You don't need kids anymore.
Thank you, Mattias. I'm going to tell Anna.
Anna.
Yeah, just so you know, I don't need kids.
You have a hamster in animation.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
No, it's really fun to be here. And also, yes, thanks for Filippo for suggesting me on the Discord.
Yeah,
that said, if you need a guest, so...
Yeah, exactly. We would have never, ever brought you in.
No, exactly, I know.
Yeah.
No. But now the pressure was on, so I mean, yeah, I'm here.
The heat is on.
All right.
He gets it.
He gets it. He gets guitarded.
Yeah. No, but this is basically how we worked when me and Elias were working together at King, because we sat next to each other and just sang all day long.
All the songs you never want to hear again on repeat.
All until our art director just came by and said, "Hey, sorry, you sing so wonderful, but keep it down, please."
Yeah, it's just like, basically, please shut up.
Nice. Yes. I can imagine them saying that. Yes.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Really
awesome.
at the time, though. That was rude of him.
That's still not a good thing.
Swedish classics. I mean,
Swedish classics. Like you all know, famous celebrities such as Per Gessel.
Per Gessel.
Gessel my nizzle. Yeah, but so we have Mattias here today. We're going to ask him tons of questions and ruin his life. And with that said, maybe we should do the intro thing and then just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yes, I want to do the skidoosh.
Yeah, you can do the skidoosh.
All right, Mattias, going to do
the skidoosh. Yes!
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons. Even with beards and tattoos, you know they haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook Heroes, imagination burning. Sketchbook Heroes, Sketchbook Hero pick up and Sketchbook Heroes. They don't seem to have any line.
So he was up and skadoosh.
Yeah.
Son of a...
Oh, no.
Oh, it's so bad.
But we're back.
Are we?
We are back.
Already?
And we're back, yeah.
That went fast.
Do you want to have a break?
No.
What did you expect? Yes. So, Mattias,
Yes.
again, welcome.
Thanks.
I hope everybody can hear me. Feels like I am an echo. So, who are you, Mattias? Let's do like a little introduction to everybody that has no fucking clue who you are.
Well, yes, sure. My name is Mattias Andersson, and I worked together with Elias for about 7 years before you left me.
Yeah.
You traitor.
No, you left my team.
I cry all
left
day
me.
long. Oh yeah, sure thing. No, but what can I say about me? I've been drawing all my life, ever since I was a kid. And when I went to high school, I felt that I'm not good at anything. I can't do anything. I suck at everything except from drawing. I was really good at that. And my math teacher, he felt that, oh, poor guy, he suck at math, but I will help him out. So he actually found this folder of a 2D animation high school south of Sweden, because I'm from up north, from the middle of nowhere. And that was so awesome. And I can't be enough grateful for him, because that changed my life in that sense. Because, coming from a really small place, you don't know anyone else except from, 10 people, feels like. And then all of a sudden you decide to move all by yourself, 15 years old, south of Sweden, and you basically just hunt for your dreams, becoming a 2D animator and work for Disney when you grow up and stuff like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's it. That was my plan. And
At 15 years old?
I mean, you're 15, 16 when you start the Swedish high school, right?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
about that.
But that's a
So-
big move, though. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I was so freaking out. I was so scared for doing that step, but I'm so grateful and happy that I did.
And just for those of you listening that are like 12, this is pre-internet. He couldn't look up animation schools. Like, there were pamphlets for this. Like you had to get a pamphlet somehow and have it like land in your hand
probably interact with an actual person.
Yeah, to get this.
Yes.
That maybe has like a clue, like a math teacher apparently.
Yeah.
Because this was in 2002. And basically the same thing, because they had a website for the school, but basically it was the same information on that website as it was on the folder,
Nice.
the pamphlet.
Yeah.
And so you didn't really know anything. So I was freaking out, and I was so scared about this whole thing, because if I didn't choose that thing, because that was the only school that I could apply for, because my grades were so bad. So I could either choose do something creative and also 2D animation that sound amazing, but it was so far away from your friends, your family, your whole life that you knew about. Yeah, I went there with my mom, just checking out. And from that moment when I saw the school and I saw the place, like, well, okay, I'm not nervous
You're
anymore.
home. You're home.
Yeah. So that was good. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So what was the school called?
it was called Eksjö High School, Eksjö Gymnasium.
Does it exist still?
Yeah, it still
Oh, well,
exists.
there you go.
Yeah.
But I think that was a bit of a heyday when I was there, because I was the second year that started there. So it was kind of newly opened. And back in the day, that was the only 2D animation high school back in that day. I think there is several others nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of funny, because back there we were about 15 people in the class. But I think nowadays there might be a bit 5 or something, so it's a bit smaller, but it's still
Wow.
alive. I saw their gradation movies last week, and it was fun. I mean, they stepped it up. It looks amazing.
That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. When you see what the kids do nowadays, if you compare, like, oh shit.
But dude, that's
I
the
hate that.
thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're introduced to it. Like my kids, they know so much more. They know like specifics. Like when I was a kid, it was like, backflip. That was it. That was like
The thing.
everything was backflip, basically.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, that's an RPG with a blah, blah, blah suppressor and blah, blah, blah. But you're like, what? Like, I don't even know that, and I'm 35.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're 5 years old. And they know about all this shit.
Yeah.
YouTube, thank you.
The funny thing is also when we were there, we learned all the old school, because my animation teacher, he went to Sheridan College in Canada, so he were also a bit of a old school animator. So he just wanted to just learn the basics, how they did back in days.
Awesome.
So we were in the beginning, we were not allowed to color or draw in the computer. We needed to do it on plastic cells.
Oh shit.
Like they did.
shit.
You had the light table, traditional light table with, turned around, and you needed to color. If you needed to color your animations, you needed to do with proper cell,
Yeah, layer on layer.
real colors.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
yeah.
smelled amazing. They smelled like some sort of warm plasticky, but they're like,
Junky.
yeah, exactly. Now it's nice. So that's fun to learn all those basic things. It's nowadays when you do stuff digitally and you know that, wow, this is so much faster. That
Yeah. But then you can also appreciate, the process instead of, because I know that a lot of people that start out with like the digital stuff, like sometimes you get like spoiled as to how fast you can draw some things, and then you just like you start feeling like, oh, I can't be bothered to do this. But if you've started with the traditional stuff, that is truly tedious, and like you mess up, you have to start over. Once you get past that, and then you go to digital, you're like, oh my god, like nothing I do here will ever be a chore.
No,
because it's like Control Z or just paint over. There is no like you can't paint over this part.
No.
Like you can paint over everything at any time.
and not to even mention the whole cleaning up after working every time, like
exactly
brushes and
exactly
all that extra stuff that you need to do just to make a working file. Like whereas in the computer
Cheers,
or
drink. He said drink.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
drink. Chug
let's
it.
make a proper one.
Yes. Yeah, here we go.
Cheers.
Corona. All 6,000 taste buds.
All of them.
Oh. Yes, those tannines.
No,
But
but also that's the thing. Also, when it comes to digitally wise, I mean, right now you don't need to be afraid of trying out stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're not afraid of screwing up that super expensive drawing paper or that the pen that you're using. You need to use that wisely.
Yeah.
The Copics, the ink can run out or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and that will
exactly.
cost you. Right now, there's no excuse to just go crazy and trying out mad stupid stuff.
But on that subject, like when you were a kid, were you afraid to fail? Because that was one of my biggest things. Like I would end up drawing nothing, whereas like this guy here, Robert, he would draw like 1 million pages, and I was like, stroke erase. Like I wouldn't even get to draw anything because I was trying to get like everything perfect.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, just because we're both in a real small school and a small community in that sense, I were somewhat like the only fish in the pond. I mean, of course there was other people that were good at drawing and stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes you felt that you were sitting there on high horses and you had some sort of ego boost to like, yeah, I mean, I'm good at drawing. God damn it, I don't need to, struggle that much or whatever. But I've been always super bad at. I've been super bad at sketching and doing different ideas and stuff. So I always went in the first idea. Go with that one,
and just
because it will be good enough or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't until when I started the high school when you all of a sudden you were together with 15 other people that were amazing drawers, and they're like, "Oh, damn, I need to step up my game." And all of a sudden you were not as good as you thought you were.
Yeah.
And also that made you grow as a person, become a bit more humble too. It's like, oh shit, I mean, all these amazing people, I can learn something from them, and
But that says a lot about the person you are as well, I think, because I think a lot of people would probably not go or feel as happy as you did in that situation, if you know what I mean. They'd probably go the opposite direction, going more like, fuck, I suck. I suck so bad. Man, I don't want to show my stuff here. They get introvert and like a lot of artists.
Yeah, they shy away, basically.
Exactly. So I think, like, we're all the same here. Like, we all get encouraged when we see somebody that's better, and we want to become better, and we, like, want to learn from that person. But I think that's something that's, it deserves to be touched upon a little bit more, that, like, you shouldn't shy away from talent in a way. Like, if you see somebody that's better than you, don't be like sad that you aren't that good or whatever.
I would say hang out with that guy.
Exactly.
Just like step up your game.
Become a leech.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I mean, we started because, since we were so young and you moved down there, most of the students there, they moved into a dorm. So we were all together like 24/7. And, it started great. Everyone just sitting down, hanging around, drawing and learn from each other. And, just because it's a dorm or whatever, your kids, all of a sudden you're so sick of each other. You didn't want to know one. And unfortunately that happened. But
Corona.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, yeah, it was good times. Yeah.
But on the subject of getting discouraged by better artists, I remember the first time we met Rafa, and he was
shit,
because I was me and Robert, drawing wise, we were like top of the food chain, and then suddenly we met this guy Rafa, and he was so much better. Like his name was Raphael, but he was called Rafa, and he was so much better, like so
light years,
much better than us. And I remember like being so impressed by his work that I went home and I drew and I drew and I drew to become better. You know, like 4 weeks on end, just drew and drew and drew and drew and drew, just so I could make cool shit.
Well, he inspired me to start the art school that I went to in Jakobsberg, where we grew up.
Yeah,
because he went to that same education and he did that. And when I was still studying to become a carpenter, he was in that school, and I went up to just hang out with him one day, and he showed me all this stuff, and I was like, fuck, this is
remember that.
amazing. And then we had like a little breakdance session up there too, which was, of course, awesome.
You had a dance off.
Yeah. kind of.
These sketches for...
Because that was the thing with him as well, that he was really good at breakdancing and inlines.
And
everything, like, just one of those idiots that everybody hates and loves.
Oh, man. But I remember, like, meeting him years later, and he was like, oh, guys, I love that I can still see, like, you guys are still drawing and doing it. And I was like, oh, my God, this guy has picked up a pen again. You know, that same, like, panic that I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God. And then he showed us, like, I've started, like, painting a bit again. And, you know, he wasn't bad, like, compared to most people that don't draw, like, for years. But he was good for not drawing. But he just stopped drawing. Like, after we separated in the 9th grade, he stopped, whereas we didn't. And I always, like, he was a god in the art community for me. And then we met him again, and he showed us the stuff that he had started working on, and he was just nowhere near what we do today.
It was like he had digressed or like gone backwards.
That's what it felt like. I don't
but
think
he was
it was
probably
any worse.
stuck in the same. But
it was the same, but we were like, our references for what is like professional art is so much higher.
Yeah.
And we were just like, holy crap, if you don't actually keep up or like trying to improve, you will stagnate. Like nothing will happen, and it won't be as good.
Exactly.
You know,
and that was a super important lesson to learn, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because that made me like, I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Like no matter what the fuck it is, like if it's working out or drawing, I will just like, the lesson is never stop.
Yeah.
Like whatever happens, like feels good, feels bad, whatever, don't stop. Just don't stop.
But how do you feel? Because you guys were looking up to him as a god, as you said.
Yeah.
And because it's a really similar story that I had also when I was a kid. Because I started to hang out with a friend that I was looking up for. He was 1 year older than me, and I saw that he was also one of the guys that I was looking up to because he was so good at drawing. He was drawing this super humorous and cool cartoon characters, and he all like original stuff. He didn't just draw whatever. He just came up from his mind, and his mind was just like a cartoonist. And that was one thing that I wanted to be and become. So I started hanging out with him more, and all of a sudden we became best friends. And he did that, and he did this most detailed train stations. That was super specific. He loved drawing train stations.
So specific.
with rulers, and he did all the windows and everything. And Titanic. He was a huge Titanic fan. So he did
Leonardo DiCaprio.
He drew but the boat.
the door.
Yeah, exactly, the door, the specific door.
The specific door.
No, but he managed to. He knew exactly how many windows it was in the Titanic, and he could drew that because he was so specific into it.
Jesus Christ.
And the most sad part
That's
is in this thing because we started to hang out, become super good friends, and we felt because we found each other with drawing, but then all of a sudden he saw that, oh no, I'm not good anymore. Because he saw the things that I did, because I felt that I was stepping up. I became better drawing because of him. And that was not the reason why I started. I wanted to draw with him, and then all of a sudden he stopped because he got, bad self-esteem. And that hurt me so much. I felt like, what? Can I just hang out with someone to draw with? I mean, I would love that. But all of a sudden,
That's
it's
so
like,
sad.
and like, no, this is not fun. Can we just go out skateboarding or snowboarding instead?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, sure, that's fun too. But I mean, I want to draw with someone, and that never happened until I started high school. So
Damn.
Aw.
That's too bad.
That's so sad. Yeah.
yeah,
But again, like that point that I was trying to make, just don't get like disencouraged or discouraged. I mean, again with my brain, just because somebody's better. Like hang on to that person for dear life and just learn as much as you can. And like, because that's what we did.
That's what we did, yeah.
that's-
Because remember, like, you were drawing like more realistic. Then I wanted to draw more realistic,
Exactly.
and then I did this thing, and you wanted to
And
do
then
the
I-
thing.
exactly.
Yeah. And we
It
just
was
like
always
back
that,
and forth.
always.
It's like a video game, like a fighting game, where you're playing, and then the one guy's winning like all the time, but
Yeah.
then suddenly it just changes.
It just
you
flips.
learn,
Yep.
you learn how they're fighting, so you start, exactly, and you just switch, and then the other guy's winning until you figure them out, and then you go back and forth. But do you guys remember, now that we're on the subject, and I've thought about this before, do you guys remember when like internet art came, like when people started posting online?
Do you mean
That really
digital or just-
anything that you could see other people like around the fucking world? That wasn't, like a printed magazine
I
where
mean,
it doesn't.
you pretty much introduced me to that.
Yeah.
Because you were really big with saving images and keeping
yeah, exactly.
and having
the Danger
like
Girl, J.
exactly.
Scott Campbell stuff.
all of that.
Yeah, but that thing, like, it haunted me for a good while when I was 14. Because that's when the internet sort of started coming on, like, hard, and, images loaded, from the top to the bottom.
like 99, early 2000, 98, something like that.
And, dude, I was so amazed, because you didn't know how good people could be.
No.
Like, and I'm not talking about the famous people. I'm
No,
talking
just
about
not normal.
any motherfucker out there. They're like, oh, this guy is like 20 and he can do this. And you're like, what? And I always, like, the discouragement, like, you always had to fight that feeling that everyone was better than you. Like, the world, like, I knew I wasn't the best, but the interwebs just made me, like, fart in the air, basically.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, my God, my skills are insignificantly bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, it's just, like, it's not even on the
But
radar.
that really brings me back to the one good lesson my dad taught me when I was a kid.
Do cocaine, son.
Yes.
Do cocaine.
Not cocaine. But no, he was like, no matter how good you feel or how good you draw,
Yeah.
remember that there's always somebody out there that's always going to be better than you. Like, and I was probably like 5 or 6 years old at a
Good
time.
lesson, son.
But yeah, that was my dad. Like, always, like, you're not, like, don't let this fucking go to your head. You need to be humble. You need to respect that you still have, like, stuff to learn.
Yeah.
So don't ever get comfortable and just keep chasing. Like,
Yeah.
and that, as soon as he said that, it was imprinted in my brain, and it's always been there. No matter how good I feel about anything, I always have this tendency to shit on myself, to make me feel really horrible and make everybody else feel great. So that's my gift in life. Thanks, Dad.
No, but I think art as well is like, you're like a phoenix. You're doing your thing, but you need to die, out of discouragement or whatever, and then you need to rise from the ashes again, and then it's like, that's basically what it feels like every
Rise
time.
of the Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, exactly. Very nice. But it is basically just like that thing over and over and over. You're like, oh my God, I'm really good. Yeah, exactly. And then you just start over.
Yeah.
But speaking about early online galleries or online art communities, because I remember before I started at that let's call high school, I never knew about these kind of art galleries and stuff, or art communities. And there was DeviantArt, but that started around 2000.
It was late.
Yeah, it was late.
2003, I think, or something like that-ish.
And I think there was one community that I found out just by random.
Elfwood.
No, I think it was called Punch Baby or something.
What?
Okay, I
It
never
was
heard of
something like that. It was one of those early sites where they had South Park video clips and stuff. I mean, where you couldn't see because there was no YouTube. where did you see like these kind of things? And I think the site was Punch Baby. I'm not sure, but I thought it was something like that. But
I love it already.
But I found this artist that I remember. That was one of the first artists that I learned the name of.
Yeah.
J. Axel, right? J. Axer, something like that.
Yeah, J. Axel. Yeah, I remember.
And because I remember he did portraits of Korn and Slipknot and stuff like that. And I felt like that's so cool. And to my surprise, because I haven't checked that guy out for years. And now earlier when I went to BlizzCon last year, and I was walking the artist aisle where all the Blizzard artists are. All of a sudden, he was sitting there. Jay Axer, like, what the fuck?
That is insane. I have images from him saved, like, in an old, like, inspiration folder, with, like, tons of art that I looked through, and I was like, why did I save this? Why did I save this? Jay Axer. Like, I have so many different, like, some are still good, but a lot of it is just like, why did I save this? Like, this is garbage. Like, you just, like, you're on a different level, like, with you. But that is awesome that someone else knew about it, has it as a reference.
Yeah, but I think that is also one of the only artists I know the name of. I don't know. I suck at names.
Dude, you and me both, man.
No, but we've talked about this before. Because, like, I think my inspiration as an artist was more international, whereas you were, like, a lot into the comics that are big in Sweden.
Yeah, on the Swedish market.
Yeah, on the Swedish market, like 91.
Yeah, Knasen, Kronblom. No, sorry, Knasen is not.
Kronblom.
God damn it, Knasen.
Yeah, but.
Åsa-Nisse and also. Yeah. After high school, I went to this little course. It was just a matter of month or whatever, how to learn to, start your own company and stuff. And then I told that my plan was to becoming a comic artist. I told the teacher, and like, okay, so do some research. Call if you know any comic artist, just call him and ask questions. And I felt like, what? Can you do that? And I did. So I called Jonas Darnell, the creator of Herman Hedning.
What?
And for me, it felt like, right now I'm talking with a god. And I was so nervous when I called him. And he's like, yeah, it's a regular dude. You do it like that. Big deal. And
that's so cool.
And they were like, yeah, but I mean, I was, oh my God, this is amazing.
But you fucking talked to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
that
good.
is super cool, dude. I wouldn't have known what to say, like, as a kid.
And then also now, when you're adult or whatever, and all of a sudden you have this Instagram account and stuff, and then just randomly one day, Jonas Darnell is following you, like, it's commenting you. What?
Oh my God.
Then it feels like, what? From no. I mean, then you're walking on the clouds.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh my God,
I made it.
I gotta tell everyone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. So after you did your high school, you did that extra course, and then so what happened then? Like, did you take a break and do like normal job and make money and do something, or
exactly?
What happened?
It was a bit of a break. I think it was about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, working at Mio Möbler and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Building some furniture, sitting at the cashier at Hemköp, like a grocery store and stuff like that. And for a while, it felt like, this is fine. This is life. I guess I can do drawing as a hobby. But then all of a sudden, it just came more and more. It felt like, no, don't. I mean, if I'm gonna earn money, then I want to do some creative stuff. So then we started to, look for stuff and studies and stuff. So we found this. There was a course for 6 months of comics and children's book illustration in Karlstad.
Okay.
And so me and the girlfriend I had back in the days, we went there, studied there, and it felt really nice, but it was only for such a short while. It was only 6 months, and felt, we started to get nervous for the future. What the heck will happen after this? Especially when you move to another city in Karlstad.
Yeah.
And then it started to feel that this was back in 2008, and all of a sudden smartphones and stuff started to become a thing. And you saw that you could do game develops. You can do games.
Yeah, games, like game art.
But with 2D graphics. I mean, you didn't need to be a 3D mastermind to do games.
No.
So that felt inspiring, that you feel that you can do that. But also, it would be nice to learn some 3D. So then we found a school actually in the same small city of Eksjö in Småland that had 3D studies and stuff. So we moved back down there and learned some 3D for 1.5 years. And then but at school, we felt that, okay, we've been to this place before and the school was not that good. And we found this other 3D study school in Visby in Gotland, that big island of Sweden.
Yeah.
So just because it's such a cool place to live, so we felt like, oh, wow, we need to apply to that place because, I mean, if we come in there, oh, man, this is going to be awesome. Got to be sweet. And we managed to get in there. You know, when you said in art, what's it called? Your portfolio or whatever.
Like the application.
Yeah, you need
for
to
the school,
apply.
yeah.
You need to apply for it, and yeah, we're good enough to start there. So we went there, and that was great. I mean, when it comes to, I mean, it's really difficult to learn 3D if you don't have any idea. Because first, you go in there, feel like, okay, I guess it will be somewhat learn Photoshop. It's not.
No.
It's in 3D space, and all of a sudden your brain is just mush. It's so difficult to learn. I mean, the learning curve is like that. But, I mean, if you really want to learn, and if you really want to do it, because you see, especially when you get inspired by other people that do amazing stuff and feel like, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
Then it's way easier. But, I don't know. In somewhat, I were not really that super stoked to study again. So I mean, I was just happy being at Gotland. I mean, being there, like, oh man,
it's like the Swedish Spain or something. Like it's
Ibiza.
Yeah.
It is a nice island. Like it's really nice.
I actually haven't been to Gotland. I've been to Öland, which is the other island.
Oh, I mean,
so I can't say that much, but from what I've seen and heard,
exactly,
it's beautiful.
I mean, I've been to both, and I mean, Öland have nothing to compare with.
No.
So, sorry, Ölänningar, but I mean that's the truth. I mean, Gotland, that's amazing.
There we go.
You get like A for trying.
All right. So, but did you feel that, like, after doing the 3D course and doing all of that, that you were more like the fire up your butt to do more 2D stuff after the 3D thing, or were you more open to doing 3D stuff after?
I would say it was a bit of both. It really came the last year I studied there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you felt that I was not good enough to actually have a career in 3D, I felt. I mean, I saw all my student friends and stuff. They were amazing. I felt like, okay, they can apply for a job right now.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like, oh man, I haven't really taken this study seriously. And I really got nervous. I mean, there was only 1 year left before you need to go move out and do something with your life. And the last year, the last half year, you were supposed to write a report.
Mm.
And of course, yeah, I mean, first of all, you tried to be a good student. So you had your little thing that you presented for the headmaster or whatever. Is this good enough? Can I write something about this? And he said, no.
Oh,
this is not good enough. You need to come up with another idea. And then I felt, well, screw it then. I just felt that it's better if I actually work on my portfolio and send out to everyone during this last 6 months.
Yeah.
Just to try to get a job before the schools ended, which I did. And I sent my portfolio everywhere, which made me that king that I work right now. They reached out to me and said like, hey, we buy you a flight ticket to Malmö hotel. You can come here and have an interview and just see what's going on. And that was dope. That was cool. So I did that. I went to Malmö and had an interview, and which was kind of interesting because I saw they had also a release party for the new game that came out. Pet Rescue Saga.
Yeah, and I remember that one.
And I thought
what's up with all the sagas?
Exactly, and that was the thing.
The saga.
I was supposed to work on that game. I thought.
Oh man, that game is horrible looking.
And during that party, I started to mingle, meet all the persons I was super into. Like, yeah, I'm gonna move down to Malmö. And I saw these posters, Pet Rescue Saga and everything. And then all of a sudden I saw this poster of this other game, Candy Crush. And I looked at this poster like, yeah, I'm happy enough to work in that game because I want to work with these pets and stuff. And yeah, and then I went back to Gotland. I never heard from them for a while. they reach out. They say like, "Yeah, sorry, man, you're not getting the job." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Well,
So-
at least they reached out.
Exactly.
That's nice.
And so then I was, of course, sad about it. And it went like 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden, fall came. I were out in the garden and doing what's it called? Kratta.
Creating.
Yeah, you're raking.
No, just raking.
Yeah, raking the leaves. And then also my phone rang. And it was a Stockholm number. And like, well, it was calling from Stockholm. And then King from Stockholm reached out to me and said, "Hey, a month ago you were in an interview in Malmö." I'm like, "Yeah? Yeah, I mean, we don't really need anyone there, but if you want to start in Stockholm office, you're good to go. You're good to come here and just have an interview and see what we." They're like, "Oh yeah, shit, okay." And of course, yeah, I did that.
And that the rest is history, or
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah. I mean, I went there. You were already working.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
because you started half a year before me, right?
Yeah, at least a couple of months. I don't remember. You
shit.
started in October.
Mm.
I think I only had like 2 months on you. Or something
exactly.
Like that. 3 months.
Having my 8th-year anniversary in October.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, starting to become old and bitter.
Dude,
no,
no.
not bitter.
We're all old
But
and
I
bitter.
do get it. But I
It's
do
okay.
get it.
Mm.
Like, and it was an epic place back then because I don't remember how many we were when I got hired.
I think the whole Stockholm office was just about 200 people.
Yeah,
200
I think
people.
it was like 230
Just-
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is,
That's a lot of people.
Where about?
No, but we weren't all in that office. Like it was like King was 200 and something.
Oh, the
Yeah.
whole entirety of King.
That's in Sweden. I
Damn.
think so.
Hmm,
Like right?
yeah.
Because we were not 200 people in the Stockholm.
No, I
old
think it was in
office.
Sweden we were 200 people.
Yeah, 200
something
people
like
in
that.
Sweden.
Damn.
Yeah, so it wasn't a lot of people at that. Because I remember knowing basically everyone at the office.
Mm.
Like, oh, this is the guy. He sits downstairs below the thing. The IT department is this, and this guy. And then on that side, you have these people. You know, like, that's how you knew everyone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then the success of Candy Crush.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly, they just started hiring, like, people in, like, batches. And eventually, after a couple of years, you're like, I have no idea where everyone is.
I just remember that.
I see dead people.
Because when I started,
Yeah.
we still had the main language was Swedish. I mean,
Yeah.
if there was someone speaking English,
It was my team because I had Mario.
yeah, exactly. And it wasn't until Marie started.
Yeah, shit, you had Marie. in
That's
your
when
team, yeah.
we started to speak English, and I hadn't spoken English since I were in high school. So I mean, wow, it was so difficult speaking English for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was so bad. I was super nervous all the time. Every time I went to work, like, oh no, need to speak English today.
Why does Marie work here?
But that's really interesting because Swedes in general have this like reputation of being so
Yeah.
good at English and la la la.
Yeah.
So it's actually really comforting for me to hear that there is still people like that struggle with speaking English in a way. Like
Now,
people need to understand that we're not born into speaking English in this country. Like it's just again, it's like anybody else out there trying to learn Spanish or whatever as a second language. It's a lot of work, like learning English. So, like, don't take that shit for granted, yo.
No, but that's the thing that Joe. Yeah, but that's the thing that I need. That was one thing that I needed to tell myself too, because every morning when I was nervous, I wanted to have the grammar super correctly. I wanted to speak in a fluent way of just expressing my mind all the time and just speaking without, starting thinking about the word and stuff like that.
There's always that
Translating.
extra step. Yeah.
But the thing is that when you decided that I don't care about if I speak Swinglish or something.
Yeah.
I can go with this super stupid accent. I mean, just
Yeah.
go for it. And
own it.
then all of a sudden you
Yeah.
own it, and it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, you just kind of fall into it, I guess.
And I think that you can apply that on art too. I know that we
exactly.
talked about this before, and it sounded really smart back then. Right now, I can't really remember exactly what we said, but
imagine this, but smart.
exactly.
And
It
this is
sounded
kind
really,
of
really
what we
smart.
feel like after every
time.
episode.
Every
yeah,
episode.
yeah. And then I
we said
edit
something
it,
smart outside of the podcast.
and you just hear that glass.
Yeah, well, basically, I think we said something that be not afraid of just being a fool of yourself. I mean, just go with something. Be afraid of actually fall down from your bicycle or whatever, and just jump up again. I guess mean, there's no worries. Just go for it. I mean, and just be a bit more loosey goosey and like that.
Yeah,
I mean, the worst thing is that you will probably come out of it knowing more English. Like that's like there's no downside to trying.
Exactly.
Like you're not going to make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like you need to get over it. And this is just to everybody that feels the same way, that like might have some issues with speaking English in public.
But it doesn't have to be English. Like my wife just picked up photography. I think I've mentioned it like a couple of
Does she
episodes
speak photography?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but she's not great at photography in her mind, you know. But she has
Wine break.
Wine break.
Yeah.
No, but my wife picked up photography, you know, like she found her passion like let's say 1.5 years ago, for real.
Yeah.
And now she's taking home models. We move everything in the living room / kitchen, like around, and we just like put up the studio that I bought. And she brings home models, you know, like people that she likes, and she photographs them.
It looks great. Like I've only seen your reference images.
Yeah, my is super good.
And the one
mermaid,
like
merman,
and the few images of your kids and Svetlana. No,
Lana. Yeah, but it's Svetlana.
Lana.
Like the name,
Yeah, but I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Like already.
Yeah, but she's super nervous, and that's a cool thing. I get to observe a grown-up with a new hobby, basically, doing what I like. She's like, oh, I don't think I'll do this because I don't have the experience. I'm like, who cares? Like, there are so many people that are professionals, and they suck, like, in the sense that they're probably just winging it. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was good enough. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sell my digital art. And now if I would look back, I would have been horrified. But, you know.
Like every time I try to sell my stuff.
But just, you got to start somewhere. You know, like you got to take that, like, you got to be.
It's a leap of faith.
It's a leap of, just do anything. And.
Which sucks when you're an atheist.
Dude.
Because then it's just a leap.
No, but I don't know. That kind of also reminds me of when I started the King. Because I felt like, first of all, 6 months ago, I had no idea that I was starting work on a game company. Because, I mean, that was not in my mind, working with games. And I felt I had this huge imposter syndrome. Coming in there, especially working with software that you basically just opened, realize this is not Photoshop, and just close it again.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to Flash and Illustrator.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you work there, when you're starting a new job and work with professionals that are just super nice, they help you out. I mean, and you should never be afraid of being, you know, asking.
No,
and just feeling that this might sound really newbie kind of thing, but I mean, you need to be a beginner. I mean, you can't just be a professional straight away.
No,
just because you got a job.
Yeah.
And just swallow your pride and ask around like a crazy person.
Exactly.
Because I did that constantly. I was sitting next to this guy called Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, senpai, help me. How did I do this? And he helped me out so much. And then all of a sudden,
that you learned from Jimmy and still lived. He
he
was so unorganized. I love him for it.
Exactly.
But holy dicks.
Yeah, that was my.
We called them Jimmy files.
Yeah.
We called them Jimmy files. I was like, because I was trying to do something. I was like, I just need this, and then like you moved it, and imagine like transparent
subfolders.
Dude, imagine like layer on layer on layer on layer to make something darker, like tinted. He made, I think I counted like 45 layers to make a light gray, dark gray. When you have sliders to choose the right opacity, and
Is
he
this-
just like copied it and like, no, it's not dark enough. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy
And it's
paste.
like a 1% difference.
Yes,
like,
exactly. For
a little bit
each.
darker,
Yeah,
little
so he
bit
had
darker, little bit.
45s to get 45 shades darker.
Yeah, but I love
And
it.
you're like,
man.
why? Like
Nice.
this does it for you on one layer.
Yeah, but he was basically that creative artist that
No,
had,
he was- yeah.
he had no idea about how the software actually worked, but
Yeah.
he just found a way around it. They're
He
like,
just did it.
okay, if I want to do this thing, I mean, I can probably just do the stroke. Oh yeah, it kind of works, but if I do it 45 different times, I mean, then I get this gradient effect. That's
Yeah,
cool. I'm gonna
that
use
is
that.
So insane. And I think on some images, he had like several images, and then he took a blur to get a gradient. I was like,
It works.
you know, Illustrator has gradients. Like, you don't need to grab a lot of shit and then make them fuzzy. But it was Jimmy Files.
Yeah, exactly.
And we. I had s- Yeah.
but
I-
also that kind of set the whole style of Candy Crush.
Oh,
too.
dude,
I mean,
it's fucking did.
yeah, exactly.
It was basically that. But you were, I remember like trying to understand the style, and there's no logic at all. Like you're like, oh, I think he did it like this, and then you look at the next image, and he just breaks all the rules he created for that one, and you're like, I don't know how to recreate this.
But that's basically what we're saying to all the new artists who's
Yeah.
gonna work with Candy Crush. Just like, don't think about logic. Just go wonky. Just go
Dude,
crazy
That
bananas.
was ours as well.
And-
Just like-
This is why I never worked at King.
but you remember when you tried to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
the
I
character-
couldn't fucking do it.
Yeah, dude, we struggled
oh
for
my God.
years
Like,
trying to replicate
Ilias,
it.
Ilias tried to coach me into like just to help me do sort of a little portfolio for
Yeah.
King
You
because
didn't
I was
know
looking
what you were doing. I
No.
didn't even know what I was saying. I was like, I'm just
And
trying
like-
to help you, man.
like just do it in your style, but do it in our style.
yeah.
And like,
No, but that's,
I'm like, what the fuck is that?
But I remember when we were sitting next to each other, we were the worst also. Because, I mean, when it comes to basing, you start out with, as you said, a toenail. I just remember all of a sudden we started to have this thing like, okay, let's start with the shape of a penis. And then
Oh,
we built
dude,
from
that
out
was
of that. So, I mean, no one knows this, but there's a lot of hidden penises.
dude, there
Shapes.
are so many hidden penis shapes. Like, there is one, like, I don't even know what the level was called. Yeah, like, one
Penis.
of the only, like, levels in Candy Crush, it was called
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch
something.
Reef or
Yeah,
something like
like
that.
Of course it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But we weren't allowed to use alcohol as a thing, you know, like butterscotch reef or whatever the fuck it was. But that whole, like, I was thinking, like, when I started, like, it wasn't even meant as a penis, but we've done it for so long. I was like Darth Vader's helmet, and then, you know, the silhouette of Darth Vader's helmet is basically a penis.
Tip of a
And-
penis,
yeah,
at least.
tip of the penis. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
and then I had these, like, two hills on the bottom. You have a penis. Good, sir. And it was basically, and then I was like, oh, but it's going to be a volcano at the top. And then there's like this like smoke that's going to come out, this like fluffy, like pink smoke.
Don't forget the lava that's spreading
And
out,
the
just
yeah.
spooting out of it.
Yeah, that was my initial idea. I never could do it because it just looked like cum. But, and I switched to the smoke, I think. In the sketch, there was like lava, and it was pouring down the tip. And I was like, never mind this design. Like,
You're like just trying to improve it, but just really ruining
just
it
ruining
more
it more and more.
more.
And there were so many times because Candy Crush was a lot like based on like hills covering hills.
Yeah.
But then again, you did like a hill, a rounded hill, and then like a top, like a long, you know, like hill, and it would or like a house or something. Yeah, so it just
yeah,
looked like testicles and like a penis. And you're
Beautiful.
like, motherfucker, like every goddamn design is a penis. Toast.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I mean, I remember one certain bush that I made. I mean, it started out like
Yeah.
a really phallus shaped
Yeah.
shape, but of course I hit it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that specific bush, they use it everywhere. Advertisements,
Yeah,
commercials.
yeah,
you
I
see
know
it like,
the one, the green
and then
ones,
you
yeah.
and then you see like, oh shit.
It's
I
from
mean,
Sherry Shire, or like the Shire
yeah,
one, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm the only one who knows this because I drew it from the
Yeah.
beginning. But I mean,
it's the bushy penis.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's the bushy penis. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
But dude, I remember also designing. Oh shit, what was it?
Penis?
Basically,
That's what I thought.
no, but it's like all the time in that game. And something that I loved as an artist when I actually quit King was like the amount of penises on Post-its that we had drawn. Like I remember we had this like planning board, like that, like when they merged Candy Mobile where I worked and Candy Facebook where Matthias worked, they made us into one team. We had this like ginormous like whiteboard wall with a lot of like Post-its for what we were going to do that week. And I remember us drawing penises and then hiding them underneath the actual tasks.
Because we're mature like that.
Exactly. And then Seamus, our art director, every time he was like, okay, we did this, and every time he pulled a Post-it away, like sometimes there'd be a penis
cock in the
underneath.
face.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And we even wrote like kuken, which means like the cock.
Yeah.
On like we had this like label printer. So we wrote like designed because there's this Japanese company called
they made refrigerators, right?
No, they made kitchens I think just in general like, and it was called Designed by Kuken, and we just wrote like we printed on the label printer, and we put it on Mario's desk, and then this like children's channel like the like on national television like the Channel 1 in Sweden. The children's like hour or whatever the fuck it was. They came to the studio basically, and they wanted to film like, oh, this is how you make video games. And on Mario's like left screen, it didn't work, so he had like Post-its with dicks on them, and it said "Designed by Kuken" on his desk. And I remember like Mario's like, oh shit, we got to cover the penises, but no one covered "Designed by Kuken."
Got broadcasted on public service Swedish television.
Fantastic.
Holy dicks, yeah.
Holy dicks.
And I think the one image that they have on me that they used in articles was me with like a tank top after the gym with the veins popping, holding a sketchbook. That's like what they had. I found the article like
What the
years
fuck?
later. I was like, the only time you take a photo is when I look like a fucking bro. They're like, this guy, like, what up, dudes?
But that's what you look like when you're not like trying. Just so you know. So you're always.
I draw dicks for a living.
Yeah, bro.
But when I quit King, like I said, we had drawn a lot of penises.
Yes.
Like these guys had like when I went on parental leave. They drew penises on so many Post-its. They took out the batteries from my keyboard and rolled penis notes around them and put them back into my keyboard. In my headphones, if you removed the cushions, there were dick Post-its inside of them. So these motherfuckers took all my stuff. Dude, they took my shaker that wasn't even clean, opened it up, put dick posters in it, and closed it back up. Like, they took everything that could be opened and put dick posters in them, and then Mr. Frenchy McFrench.
So, I mean, you had a lot of soggy, smelly dicks in your shaker.
Dude, yes.
And
yes.
So they literally fucked every...
Dude, they fucking mushroom
every
stamped.
opening that you own.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and your kids, they found a lot of Post-its
Yes,
like weeks
they
after.
did. They did.
No.
Dude, the best thing is that all these Post-its, in my contract with King, it said that everything that has been drawn by King employees, basically, within the workplace and outside belongs to King. And, like, you shouldn't burn any bridges, but I so regret not saving all of them and putting them in a shoebox. Because they would have filled that shoebox, you know, like with the lid sort of like not being able to close. Like 7 years of dicks. And just giving it to HR.
So
like,
you should stop saying bag of dicks and say box of dicks.
Box of dicks. Yeah. And then just give it back to HR. Like, oh, yeah, this is the stapler. This is my badge. And this is my box of dicks, basically.
Kind of sound like that movie with Brad Pitt. 7 years in Tibet.
What's in the box?
Yeah,
no, it's 7.
Yeah.
That's 7. Like, what's in the box?
No. 7 years in Tibet.
Yeah,
Like,
7 years. 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. He's sitting there with Buddha and he's like, oh yeah, remember this box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? 7 years of dicks.
7 years of dicks.
But going back to talking to Mattias and actually interviewing him.
Yeah, we actually have some questions for you as well.
What?
I don't know when we should take them. Should we take them now?
Yeah, let's dive into it because we're...
Okay, so first question out is from Robin, and Obalanserad. Yeah, exactly.
To the left, to the left.
Oh.
Unbalanced.
He actually wrote, oh, ideation and creative methods. Is it anything you use? And if so, how do you apply it?
Wow.
That.
Oh wow! What?
It's so loud.
Sorry. Sorry. First of all, I try to understand the question. What?
Yeah, okay. Ideation and creative methods. Is it anything you use? Like, how do you come up with shit, basically? Let me rephrase.
Yeah, let's...
How do you come up with shit?
I mean, first I eat stuff, let it get through my body, and then it just becomes this magical thing.
That's called magic. That's what it is.
No, but how do you come up with ideas for the things that you create? What is your process behind?
Maybe he's born with it.
No, maybe it's born with it.
Maybe.
I was like, no, but I mean, oh, I screwed up something.
You screwed up. You
What the fuck?
unplugged yourself.
Okay, first of all, something that I was super bad at before, which I feel that it's super important to do, is actually watch references. Just go crazy, go on Pinterest, just check stuffing out. If you have an idea and you have no idea how to draw it, just go Pinterest the shit out of it just to try to understand how stuff looks like. I mean,
Good tip.
I mean, in the beginning, the final result might be, maybe you're going to do just a cartoon, let's say like a comic page or something that does not look anything like the reference picture. But just understand how, if there is a specific feel to it, if it is a specific pose, or if it's any like colors that you kind of, like a color scheme that you want. I mean, just don't guess in your head how a sunset looks like. Yeah. Go check it out how a sunset look like.
Yeah.
But also a sunset is not only a sunset. There's thousands of different kinds of sunsets. I mean, do you want to look romantic? Do you want to look like scary or whatever? Yeah, there's so many stuff. So
maybe you want a sunrise instead of a sunset.
Exactly.
Switch it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing that I learned that I didn't do as a kid, sketch. Do a lot of different sketches. And one thing also that I think this is one thing that I has applied recently. Do the sketch and just leave it be for a day. And then you go back the next day to see, is this an idea that I really want to continue with?
Yeah.
Because this was my approach before. When I sat down to draw, I wanted to finish the whole thing in 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I felt that I don't care how the result will be, because I just want to draw something and maybe I will post it.
Yeah.
But right now I feel like I kind of want to step it up a bit. The thing that I want to draw, I want to do it to actually grow as an artist. I don't want to just post for post's sake, because I was there for a bit. Because I mean, of course, you get all this adrenaline because it's fun. It's fun to share, and it's fun to.
Yeah,
of course, it's fun
you got
to.
Your endorphins popping, all of that happening.
Exactly, but then all of a sudden, now when you see your old stuff, I mean, some things. Yeah, exactly. But then they feel like this idea was cool, but I mean, if I just took an extra day or two to actually see if, I mean, I could change the colors, I could change the whole feel to it. I mean, this guy is supposed to look scary, but the colors are happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one tip.
But have you managed to do that with like recent work? Because that's what I'm doing right now. Like in the past, like when Instagram started becoming a thing, I wanted to like, I'm just gonna like, I know I have quite some time to go on this drawing, but I would just like stress it and then just post it. And then like, oh, that was kind of shit, but it's okay. And then I just wanted to post, you know what I mean? And nowadays, like this Sailor Moon thing, for example, I've been drawing, and then like, I was gonna post it yesterday, but I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave.
I love what you did with it, though.
But I just left it again.
So cool.
And today, I went back and I was like, oh, this is missing. This side is too bright. I darkened it down. I took away the blah.
Because I thought you were finished with it like a week ago when you you showed me it at least.
Yeah, but
and then I saw it today.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's
I
so
just
cool.
like I've taken breaks from it, and we've done it live on the Discord channel. But I've been trying like. Discord is chaos, by the way. When it comes to drawing, we're having so much fun that the drawing sort of takes a backseat. But that's also fun. That's also fun.
Yeah, I need to join in more. I see that you guys are there, but also
we were like 7 people at one point.
I
just
still
drawing
haven't
together.
Still haven't even tried joining.
It was fun. It was like Bouquet has joined.
Yeah, I saw it.
And she was drawing with us. She was drawing in oil.
What the fuck?
I was drawing digital. Like William was inking.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like, it was so much fun. Like everyone was doing something. And I realized that if you don't like click on someone's specific window, you can see all of them at the same time.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, when they're zoomed out. So, if
So
you
how
have,
does
like,
it work? Just break it down for me, being the total noob when it comes to this.
This, okay.
Like, so you just go in and you do a live session filming what you do?
Let me explain.
Yeah,
There
break
are
it down.
two options of how you can do it. We created a channel called Draw Together. If you double click it, it'll ask you, like, do you want to join this voice channel, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
You just press yes, and then you're in. Like, people can, like, you have to, like on the left bottom, there's, like, headphones and a microphone.
Yeah.
You can, like, if they are not clicked, you will not be able to be heard
Yeah,
or hear anyone. But if they are unticked, you can just start talking to everyone, like everyone in that channel.
So you're
can,
already connected to everyone.
Exactly. Everyone's connected to the same sort of like voice channel.
I think also you have the option if you don't want to interact with people,
Yeah.
you can just close the mic. You can close your video. You can just watch how
You can
people
just
work
watch-
and
okay.
just listen. to
Listen,
people.
because I've seen
Alright.
that people have done it. Alyosha, for example,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
doesn't feel as comfortable talking. She's been in the whole thing, but just listening.
Oh, that's
And then
awesome.
sometimes logged in and said like, "Oh yeah, me too," basically, and then just muted herself.
Okay.
And so there was an option to share screen. It just says screen share or something like that. You just press it once it goes green, and then it lets you choose, like, I want to show stuff from Photoshop, and then it just shows Photoshop. Or it's
Holy
just like, I
shit.
just want to show my desktop, and it just shows that. So it gives you a couple of options. Or you can choose to, like, oh, no, I want to stream from my camera. And then it'll basically, like, if you do it from your phone,
Then
you
just-
can film what you're drawing if you're going traditional.
Fuck yeah.
So you just put your phone somewhere, and then just it films what you're drawing, basically like Instagram does.
Yeah.
So there are options of how you want to sort of join in. And it's so cool because Bouquet was doing oil painting, and it was amazing.
Well,
And-
everything she does.
And just that she joined, and we had so much
yes.
fun.
Oh, it's so
like, we
cool.
just
I was so
laughed,
happy
and we've joked so
seeing-
many times about like the negative feedback after that episode because we were talking like shit flicks and like
Not
none
anything.
of the art.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh, how did you start as an artist? And they're like, yeah, Neil Breen and shit flicks and this shit. And just like, and you called people an idiot for asking what pen that was. So that took off instead. It was just chaos.
Robert being Robert. There you go.
But
But also speaking of that, because I mean, I
Yeah.
can go back a bit to that question that Obalancerat
Yeah.
had, because that is
Sorry.
one thing also. Because I mean, but when it comes to Discord thing,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically a thing that I wanted to talk about now also, because I think just the last year, I had a YouTube account, but I never subscribed on anyone. But
Yeah,
all of a
same.
sudden, right now, I see that YouTube is a gold mine if you want to learn stuff.
dude,
Yes.
so many
Because I mean, when it
things,
comes,
yeah.
because I
Yes.
mean, the Discord thing, of course, you share knowledge with each other, but on YouTube there is these YouTubers that's their whole channels. They're
Yeah.
sitting there and just share the knowledge how software works,
Yeah.
how their way of thought is,
Yeah.
how does lighting works. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've
Anything.
been
really.
doing that. I mean, I've been watching YouTube more than I've been watching, let's say, TV series or movies or playing video
Yeah.
games.
Me too.
All of a sudden, I've been watching so many tutorials. A year ago, I didn't have the energy of sitting to actually learn stuff. But now all of a sudden, I feel that I want to learn more stuff. And I'm just saying, YouTube, just go there. Because if you want to
Yeah.
learn anything, that is your free. I mean, that's a free school. I mean, you learn more from there than I did, at least.
Plus, Sketchbook Heroes is on there. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
with
what is-
just a
yeah.
static image and
So
a
if you're
lot of talk.
like bored listening to Spotify, you can always just re-listen on YouTube. Yeah,
Just
get us some more views.
Actually, on the subject of YouTube, I think why YouTube is the best place to learn, like video streaming sites, basically. It's because YouTube you can learn the same lessons in 6 different ways.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get the point of view that you don't click with at all. You're like, no, this does not work for me. I don't understand lighting at all. Then you go to like
Related.
some other dude's
Yeah,
color theory thing.
you don't
or
even have to
lighting.
go to anybody. It's
No, but
probably
I just
gonna
mean-
play up after.
But that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you click on another
Yeah,
one
yeah.
that's recommended.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit.
Like,
yeah,
now I get it.
Now I get it.
Mhm.
Exactly
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it's that's how you should learn. Like, because learning from one person and their sort of like set way of doing things, like a lot of artists do say that, like, there's other ways to do this. This is how I do it.
Yeah.
But I think the value comes in checking them all out and then taking the bits that work for you.
And I think that's
yeah.
a super important lesson in general,
Yeah.
that you should never just trust the one YouTube video that you see. Like, just because you've seen it in a YouTube video doesn't mean that that's law for everybody and everybody does it this way. No. This person could have just invented that himself. Like, and it could be this total bullshit thing that nobody does. But he presents it, or she presents it in a way that makes it sound super sophisticated and the right way.
For you.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, again, it's like, is it right or is it wrong? there is no right and wrong.
And
Like,
also,
if you get something out of it, then
it's a win.
yeah,
For you.
and that's how it is.
And also, some channels, they're so concentrated of doing, deep learning, learn everything about stuff. And I mean, of course, they can be super heavy to actually do. Let's say, because I wanted to learn some Blender, because Blender seems like an amazing 3D software, just because it's free and you can do basically everything in it. But of course, there is one channel that I'm following that is going into super, super specific, and you learn everything. And there's this other super entertaining channel, I think it's called 5 Minutes Blender Tutorials, where there's this super, super funny guy, and the videos are only 5 minutes, and like, you want to learn to do the grass, how they look like exactly from Zelda Breath of the Wild. And he goes snap, 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 snap. There you go. And
I learned nothing with this. I learned nothing.
No, but that's the thing. If you just want to learn super shallow, just do that, and you can do it. Then all of a sudden you can create that grass from Zelda Breath of the Wild, but you have no other idea how the software works, but at least you can do that grass.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
but that's another cool thing about the whole YouTube thing is that you can pause and you can slow it down and you can go back and you can, like, even if it's a 5-minute clip and he really goes like bop, 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 like super fast, you can just go pause. Okay, this step.
Yeah,
and do that and do that. Like, YouTube it's a whole nother planet, like this whole universe of awesomeness that is untapped, at least for me, because I'm like, we're the older generation and we haven't really gone into YouTube or been brought up with YouTube. Like today, they're born and like as soon as you come out of the vajuju, you already know how to fucking unlock an iPad and you already know how to fucking search on YouTube. Whereas we were like, 16 years old and like, you what? You
what? You do this?
Yeah.
So I don't. YouTube didn't exist when we were 16.
No, and I think that's why, at least, because I connect to everything you just said, because I just recently found YouTube as well in that way, where I'm like, holy shit, like there is literally everything here.
Especially when your favorite shows, all of a sudden there was called the Joe guy who just talks about
Joe Blow.
Joe Blow.
I mean, yes.
Every time when you were like, oh my god,
exactly,
and then you gotta sit.
And that's the cool thing, because like the Flash Gordon that you sent me, that I'd seen just like seriously half a day before you sent it to me. Perfect. That's the perfect example, because like we watch something for our retro. And then almost simultaneously, Joe Blow will post that same movie. It's like connected in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for him to do like a Punisher after I did the Punisher now. He's probably done it already. But like stuff like that is my bread and butter. It's the best fucking thing ever. Plus, it's an easy way to deep dive into these movies instead of me having to go in and watch all of the special features on the Blu-ray or DVD and then try to research or blah, 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 blah. You just watch that because he's done all that work for you. Like, it's cheating.
And we don't cover it as deeply as he does.
No.
We just do it in our way, sort of jokingly.
Like, I get the information and then I take what I think is like relevant and interesting and then I just bring that up.
Because that is also one thing that I basically said, just because all of this, before this crisis happened with the corona and everything, I had, what's that? I had this kid who had a work experience week at King. And he he was super nice kid. He wanted to learn more about game game development.
Matthias,
Yes.
you seem gay enough.
did it.
Yeah,
How does
exactly.
this gay development work? Like what? Excuse me, kid.
Yeah,
That was
but,
beautiful.
but-
Thank you.
I hope you
Freudian
taught him
slip.
well.
Yes.
yeah, I taught him well. No, but
Ew. Yes.
now the thing is that he asked me because he wanted to learn more about this thing, and I just told him that, you know what, just you
YouTube
can find everything on YouTube. I'm not lying. I mean, even if you're gonna go search and gonna study at high school or whatever on this specific topic.
Yeah.
I mean, just go YouTube because you will learn more stuff there than if you're having a bad teacher at that high school trying to teach you
Which you
stuff.
probably will.
Amen. Amen. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
My
That
guy.
is pretty much everything that Ilias has done,
Oh,
except that he
man.
didn't have YouTube.
Then
I
you
guess.
on YouTube you have thousands of teachers
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of this
Literally.
one bad teacher.
Yeah.
And with that said, also Skillshare. Seriously,
No,
like,
but any of these sites,
yeah.
like you can find some really good
Sketchbook Heroes
stuff.
are sponsored by Skillshare.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
yes, Skillshare. Seriously, fucking.
Come on, I
sponsor
wrote
that,
to
damn
you
it.
guys, mother
Yes,
friends.
mother friend.
No, but actually, I really like that because the art business, like, there's no guarantee that you'll get a job.
Hell no.
And, you might not be in the right place to learn from a school. YouTube, like, sure, it's unorganized. The thing is that nowadays, you basically can Google what the job implies. Like, back in the day, it was just like, oh, they do stuff for games. You're like,
Great. That's what
do-
I want.
Yeah, exactly, but what do I need to learn? Nowadays, you can get a fucking breakdown. Like, there's some fucking guy on YouTube, or 6 or 7 guys on YouTube, breaking it down perfectly.
Right now I only mentioned 3D software. I mean, we got Unreal also. I mean, you can actually learn to do a game
Dude, you
from
can make
scratch.
a fucking
Yeah.
game on your own. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of today.
That's it's crazy.
Yeah. But let's
Man.
get back
This-
to the
this is-
questions.
yeah.
No, stop it! We need questions. We have questions.
But there's a whole world there to explore.
Fuck the world. Fuck the world. You sons of bitches. Okay, so a question from Filippo Illustrations on Instagram and on Discord. Filippo, I'm really sorry I butchered your... okay, so how do you find time, inspiration to be creative with your personal or side projects when you already have a creative day job? I assume you're still at King. This is, I guess, directed
Yes.
to you.
I-
I struggle to find the drive to develop my own stuff after I've spent my creative energy on client work. Cocaine, bro. I've told you a million times. I know you listen.
Yeah, and it's not illegal being a prostitute. It's illegal to buy.
So yeah, so
services
do
from a-
cocaine.
So it's
Right?
okay, Filippo. It's okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
No.
Well, someone's professional. What an asshole. We invite him in and he does this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, of course, it could be difficult, of course. But
See.
I noticed that I came into such a good workflow in that sense. Oh, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking. This is the first time I actually looked at you. I've been looking at the
You're
floor
good.
this whole time.
Yeah, you say that. No, but yeah, it can be a struggle, of course. I mean, for me right now, I'm single. Ladies, no,
It helps.
No, but it helps because in one way,
Ladies.
I also get my energy, I would say, to actually do stuff. Because right now it's so nice to actually have these projects that you work on, which give me energy, and I think it's fun. But just before all of this happened, when it comes to working from home and being this crisis thingy, I usually, when I did client work, I did sketches. I woke up a bit earlier during the morning. I did sketches during the morning. I send them off to, let's say, the publisher or whatever. I went to work and did my daily work at King
Struggle, yeah.
and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I could see in my mailbox that I got some feedback or some sort of reply from the publisher. So that's cool. So then I didn't open the mail though, because I felt that I'll keep this energy. I won't open the mail before I go home, or maybe I'll sit at the bus when I go
Yeah.
to my place. Because then they give me feedback of the sketches I did during the morning, and which made me that I can use that time more efficiently when I come home. because I don't work that much, because I really enjoy sleeping. I like sleeping, so I get my 7-8 hours or whatever. So when I come home, I basically open the mail. I check if I need to do some changes to the sketch, or if I maybe can just start doing the line work or coloring or whatever. And then I use, let's say, 3 or 4 hours really efficiently to maybe finish that thing. Because depending on which kind of works it is, that kind of depends on, how much energy you will need to put down on it. So let's say if you're gonna illustrate a book with 60 pictures, of course you can't just do this grand, amazing thing with amazing coloring, amazing lighting, and so everything looks like it could be a picture from, I don't know. But I mean, that will take you a month to create.
No.
Then you need to think more efficiently. Okay, yeah, they pay me this this amount of money, I'll put this amount of hours to it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that's client work. But then when you're doing your own stuff, I mean, for me at least, I feel like I have this idea all of a sudden, and I want to create that thing, and that just gives me energy to just keep it on and draw. I don't know.
So what do you prefer? Because it seems to me that you're always more inclined to doing animation rather than doing just random sketches, or maybe that's just me
projecting on you.
Yeah, maybe. But because obviously you have a talent for animation. Like even the simplest thing you do is so professional. Like just having the hair flow. Like it's a simple character and they just do like a little head turn, but the way the hair flows is so advanced. Is
Oh jeez.
no, but it's just so fucking awesome to see. Like even that simple little thing, it still looks so advanced to me at least. Like I don't know, would you rather do the animation stuff, or like what's your go-to when you come home and you don't have anything to do and you just sit down?
Lately, I feel that I usually come back and go back to animation because that is my passion from the beginning. I wanted to learn 2D animation just because I think it's so just beautiful and so fun and creative.
Damn fucking right.
And all of a sudden, because I usually work in the software called Clip Studio Paint.
Okay.
And in this latest update that they did, they added the animation features, which is basically you work exactly the same as you would do an illustration. You have all the pens, you have all the brushes that you can use also on the animation. So let's say if you work in Flash is horrible. They have the worst brushes ever. I mean, they have a great timeline to actually animate. You can just do a different. I mean, because that is super efficient.
What's Flash called today?
Adobe Animate.
Animate. Okay.
I think it became a tiny bit better, but when it comes to frame by frame animation, like the traditional thing, it's not good. I mean, it's good when it comes to working with what is called symbols that you can work in that sense. But
that's tweening and stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's just like dragging things basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like you can work having a puppet and you can move it around and those things. But if you want to draw individual drawings step by step, then let's say Clip Studio is just amazing. It's really good. I try right now. I wanted to learn TV Paint because TV Paint that is the thing that they actually use in the industry.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So
TD Paint.
TV Paint.
Like
TV. Television Paint.
Oh, TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That's like the noise is very loud in my headphones.
Oh, sorry.
No. Mm-hmm. It's just the way my settings are. Oh. So I heard TD.
Oh no, TV as television.
Awesome.
TV. So I know that there's both, but also when it comes to Clip Studio, because first when you think of it, because I thought that this is just a fun little thing, just a fun feature, not that professional. But then when you do some research, you see that a lot of studios in Japan doing anime, they actually use Clip Studio as their main software to do the animation.
For how long though? Like, has that been a thing? Because I remember when Clip Studio Paint, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck it was called, because they changed the name at some point.
Yeah, it was called Manga Studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
I've heard
they
of
started,
that. Not Clip Studio.
No.
Clip Studio Paint was the next iteration of that.
No, exactly. No, but then that kind of, because that felt, before that I knew that, I felt that it was, if this is just a fun feature, I can just do this just for as a hobby or whatever. But then when I saw that people actually working professional with the software, then I got inspired to like, but how?
Yeah.
Because I felt first that the timeline is kind of sketchy. but then of course, YouTube, and you go to YouTube,
Yeah.
Of course.
and you learn stuff.
YouTube is God.
And
But
also,
did you make art stuff in
yeah,
that?
yeah, exactly. No, the first one, the absolutely first one, I did in Flash.
I know. Oh shit, Flash! I thought you did in After Effects.
Yeah, and it was horrible. It was that took me.
But that was
Which
so
one was the
adva-
first one? The first one
That
was
was
the
me
other one where we
breakdancing
jumped
and-
around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
No, just to have
got
a
stressed there. I was
perspective.
like-
I think I sat a full 2 weeks every night doing that one.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ,
Big-
dude!
big-
Corona
don't
hug
say
on
that
one.
fucking thing.
Because it's fun.
my God.
Just because you learn stuff and it's just fun to do. But this latest one I did, when you doing your, the Predator bromance video.
Yeah,
With
holy
a-
shit,
with a-
what the-
So
yeah,
good.
that was so
You
good.
son of a bitch.
That
Yeah.
took me
So good.
that took me in total about 6 hours.
What
That's
the fuck?
awesome, dude.
Just because
Holy
first
shit.
of all, the software is amazing to work with,
Yeah.
and it goes so fast. If you want to color stuff, it has some really smart features.
Oh,
You
okay,
just
that's
basically paint bucket, boop, 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 and it works great.
Jesus. Yeah, that's
so,
awesome.
but I mean, if
You make it sound super easy. I know it's not that fucking easy. This is you working in the industry for how many years now? 8 years?
yeah, but I mean, when it comes to 2D animation, that's just hobby-wise. I haven't worked with it professionally.
So how many years have you been animating
I mean,
in total? Wait,
On Post-it forever.
yeah.
no, but it's
Even your posted shit is awesome, by the way.
Dude,
Fuck.
it's so good. Yeah.
God, I
On
hate you, man.
meetings- No, but on
Shit.
meetings, he would like check this out while like our art directors were talking or someone. He's like little ball just bouncing on things and just like you're like, okay, Mattias, okay, you motherfucker.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen his fucking channel or his Instagram, whatever, stop what you're doing, pause this shit, go into his
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Instagram.
And I've shouted Mattias several times. Mattias Andersson art. Go there. What the fuck?
And we always mess it up because you changed your name. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
and
I was like
that's on
Matt
you.
drawing, but
No.
not
yeah, that
anymore.
was my first one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
more, but then it was more personal stuff, just silly photos, and then I went to a strict
The
just
perfect.
art.
But dude, I saw that last time I looked, you had like 200 followers. Now you have 600.
I do, yeah.
What happened?
Animations, people seem to love them.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, so that's kind of thing also, because that when you get that response from people, that
Yeah.
makes you also more inspired to actually.
make-
I
yeah.
want to become better at this. I want to do more stuff.
I'm just gonna say it's a trap.
yeah, it is.
No,
a
but I
fucking
mean,
drug.
yeah,
No,
of
I
course,
get it.
of course, it
just
could.
keep doing it. Keep
Yeah.
doing it.
I
If
mean,
you
of
think
course,
it's
it could
fun.
be a trap, but I mean, if it's still fun,
Dude, that's
and
the thing.
and
yeah.
basically, I'm not doing this just to post stuff. I
Yeah.
just want to learn more stuff when it comes to that specific topic.
But don't you feel like when it comes to Filippo's question, just to like go back to that, like for me personally, there's a different energy that my personal work creates and the stuff that I do at work. At work, I feel like I'm learning tons of things. You know, like oh my god, I'm learning After Effects and animation or like effects in it. But Mattias, don't pee in the podcast, please.
Stop.
Sorry,
this is
sorry,
not
but we've been
good.
sitting here for so
We
long.
actually we do have a toilet outside.
You
We forgot to
just
mention that in
You
the
can-
beginning.
You can. I mean, we're.
Sit on a cock.
I can't sit on a cock. Is that what you
I
said?
mean, we're all
no, you can
artists.
sit
Yeah.
over- yeah. you
At
can-
least we're drinking red
If I
wine.
want to sit on the cock, I'm gonna
Red,
sit on the cock.
red wine. Oh my
Yeah.
god, this is flipping out.
Yeah,
okay,
it
cool.
is.
So
yeah,
Filippo's
sorry.
question.
But yeah, sorry.
Like there is a different for me personally. When I get to draw for myself, that has a different energy. That isn't, like there's no expectation, there's nothing. It's just I'm drawing for me.
Yep.
And we've said this so fucking many times, but I'm just like love repeating myself. I just love the act of drawing. So I don't care if it's good or bad, I just want to draw. Like like when I get to draw for myself, it can either be this like meditative state where you just like when I draw the ink stuff, it's basically the same shit over.
Yeah, but
and
it
over.
is like the larger part of your brain just shuts down,
Exactly.
and you go into
To
what you
just-
know.
Yeah,
And it's sort of muscle memory almost.
basically.
You have
that.
the idea and you just start creating, and then all of a sudden you wake up and it's sort of done.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned that people have talked to me on the train, and I've been like, yeah, and they just go back into it.
Yeah.
Because my brain is on the page and not so much on the interaction
Yeah.
with other people.
Yeah.
But do you get the same sort of like your personal stuff has a different energy to it? Like you're not using the same like work required art. 'Cause I can be art blocked and still do my work stuff, but I can't do my personal stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't affect the professional stuff.
No, that's always going to happen.
Yeah, that's just work.
It's
basically,
exactly.
yeah.
It's work.
It's fun, but it's work.
Yeah, I know. One thing that really helps me, what I feel, is that sometimes when you have this thing that you can draw everything, you have this, this white canvas in front of you, and you can draw everything in the world. Just go for it. I kind of stalls. Then I have the pressure. I can't really understand what I should do. Sometimes it actually helps that it was this force from outside that give me a commission. Hey, draw this cat or whatever. And then then all of a sudden,
Like, yes,
yeah,
draw a cat.
I mean, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then I'm getting inspired to actually understand how a cat works. And so sometimes that helps so much. And just getting a commission and just getting some sort of topic that you draw on. That it helps me at least to get my creative juices flowing. So, because sometimes it's just so hard to actually do something. Exactly.
Yeah. Cock.
Cock. No. Okay, let's not do that. Let's never do that again. That was
Yeah.
horrible.
So for all you kids listening, cock, cock.
And now we're talking about the animal.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the rooster. There we go.
Not
Saved
Swedish
it.
penises.
Saved
or
it.
Sloppy dicks or bag of dicks. Actually, I heard the term bag of dicks just. Yeah, I think it was
It's
in.
Supernatural.
Well, yes, of course it is. But in the Star Trek movie that I saw yesterday,
What?
Star Trek movie?
Into Darkness, the
That sounds-
J.J. Abrams Trek movie, because that's not Star Trek. That's just an action movie with the Star Trek name, really. But they say bag of dicks.
What? That
Yeah.
does not feel like the right place. To
I
say
know. I
bag of
actually
dicks.
wanted to record it and just send it to you, because
Jesus,
that is
that's
so your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you learned me that expression too. That was the first time.
But I
heard
think maybe Marie used it more for a while. Maybe.
it. Oh, really?
Yeah, she used to say bag of dicks.
it's such a good.
It's such a great way.
I love it.
But we've really evolved it. Like it sucks all the bags of dicks.
Yeah,
We've,
yeah.
like
I try
all
to
the
avoid it because it is your thing,
Yeah.
almost like a trademark. So I just try to come up with my own sort of catchphrases. Let's just go with
handbag of dicks.
yeah,
A handbag.
or
Handbag of dicks.
garbage bag of vajus. I don't know.
Juice.
Vajujus. Yeah, there you go.
Well, that sounds like a real juice box.
So,
like
so Matthias,
yeah.
vajujus.
But you,
Oh my God. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of cutting on this.
hey,
Not
kids,
a single
settle
cut.
down, kids, because right now.
Not a single cut.
Yeah. There's a lot of red wine involved.
No,
here.
but I know that we had a question from Kina.
yeah, I have them as well.
And
Yes.
So,
that
do
it's
you know the question?
Did we answer the question previous to?
Sure. Let's pretend we did.
Yeah, we did.
We
of
did.
course we did.
You're welcome, Filippo.
No, but I just know that we could kind of tie that into one of Kina's questions.
Which one's
Is
that?
it sorry? Is
That
it
was
Kina or is it
Kina?
Yeah.
No,
Kina.
she
Kina.
prefers Kina. I say Sina, so I confuse everybody.
I said Sina as well, but then she like, oh.
For me,
you say
it was
that.
just easier. Like Sina,
Yeah,
the
but
warrior
now,
princess.
Yeah, but
Sina,
now for
Sina.
me, Kina is right and
Yeah.
Sina is wrong.
And by the way, Sina, if you're listening, you should send me the new modesty. Yeah, just do it.
No, 'cause how are her question again?
Her
Was it about-
question is one is about the Astrid Lindgren stuff / Ghibli.
Oh, we can take that after.
After, okay.
'Cause
And the other one is the heavy subject on the Swedish magazine Camrad Poston.
Camrad Poston.
El Camarado del
Are we
Pasto.
doing that one? Because that's a heavy question.
Yeah.
Okay, so going from dicks to super heavy stuff.
El amigo
Okay.
de Posto.
Del comprosto.
Comprosto.
Composto.
Composto?
Compost?
Compost?
Who fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares?
The
Okay.
French
There's a
compost.
Swedish.
El Bollo.
Okay, there's. Okay. Oh my God, everyone's like drunk. Okay, kids, listen up. There's a Swedish magazine aimed towards teenagers that we drunk old people are going to talk about.
Me gusto.
Mattias has worked on as an illustrator on said magazine. He's covered topics such as puberty, death, bullying, and stuff.
Yeah.
I have nothing else. But
Yeah. No, but that kind of ties in.
we'll just take a laugh break until everyone
Sorry.
sort of gets their shit together. Robert.
That's amazing. Sorry.
Okay, we're just going to take a couple of breathers.
Let's dive into the deep dark. Yes.
Dark.
Yes.
Dark.
No.
So cancer.
Yeah, the thing is that kind of, in one way, ties into the last question about how I get some sort of inspiration when it
Yeah.
comes to whatever. And the thing is that when that magazine approached me and
Yeah.
they say like, "Hey, we have this commission, this mission for you. You're gonna draw this thing for an article," and then okay, cool. What's the article about? All of a sudden, one day you get this. Yeah, it's a stupid dad joke. So what's is the animal who loves riding? No, who hates riding the carousel, for example, the roller coaster. Do you know which animal it is? It's an antelope.
Of course.
I mean,
Oh, lol.
first of all, that could be the first thing. I mean, just
Not even I, as a dad, would do that.
I mean,
joke.
just a silly dad joke.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
draw this super stupid antelope on a roller coaster.
I
being
kind of
scared.
secretly
Exactly.
love it so much, though.
But I mean, that's the first thing. And then all of a sudden, next time they approach you to make this thing, they're like, yeah, cool. What's that about? It's also a stupid dad joke. No, you're going to draw this article about losing a parent in cancer when you're really young.
Oh my god.
And then you feel like,
Cool.
and they feel like, oh, holy shit.
You remember the antelope? There's nothing
Exactly.
like it. Death.
cancer loop.
Yeah, but also, especially when you're mostly just stupid stuff, just
Yeah.
old people with big noses and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you need to be super serious and take this with some sort of respect. And
Yeah, of course.
and it's super inspiring. And also sometimes they approach you with some topics about the puberty when you're like 12, 13 or whatever, and you start to get puberty and everything like that. And I did this whole article about, I drew kids. Basically, I drew naked kids in a children's magazine.
How did that feel? Like getting that job.
Yeah.
What was your spontaneous reaction to getting that brief?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I knew this will happen eventually because Kamrat Posten is it's a known because
In Sweden, it's a very well-known magazine.
And I read it as a kid.
Yeah.
I even applied as a young kid. I was like, oh, you have all this stuff, but I could provide you with this type of art for it. Never applied.
No.
Yeah.
But the thing is that
Good job, buddy.
Same, by the way.
Because I remember when I was a kid, that was my main magazine for getting getting
Posters.
Same,
Yeah,
dude.
no,
Same
no,
here.
but information
They
about
always had good posters.
and the
though.
posters too.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting information about
Stuff.
sex and stuff. Because I mean, I didn't go talk with my parents
Why?
or friends or about sex because I know. So I mean that was
Does anybody?
and you read no, but that's the thing.
Fuck
that
that.
magazine, super casually talked about it and had funny illustrations for it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you get this thing that you're supposed to do the same. Now, drawing this thing for this article that will mean so much for kids nowadays, which you felt when you were a kid. And I felt like, oh, this is this is fun to actually feel that you're kind of helping out.
It's big.
Yeah, it is.
But dude, how do you get in the mindset for it though? You know what I mean? Like, because I remember reading that one and reading some stuff that I super relatable, and never thinking there were people behind it, like writing the stuff. You just like, oh, this magic paper or like magazine appears at school. through magic,
Can-
and I read
Can
it.
I just jump in and ask how you even got started with KP?
Yeah,
How
I
did
mean,
that happen?
I send portfolios.
Oh, you
And-
did.
yeah,
so
but
you applied.
I did.
for it.
But the thing is that
Were they looking, or just like an open application thing?
no, they never replied. I mean, yeah, I was send my first time I sent my portfolio there. I sent it out years ago. They
Okay.
never replied anything. I can see it. I can see it in my mailbox. I see the first time I applied for it. No, just
Yeah,
gave them the portfolio.
Yeah.
But no, all of a sudden, that's a lesson of never giving up either. Because I mean, you still continue evolving your portfolio, do your stuff, learn more tactics or whatever, and then just send out until they actually respond. Because I mean, otherwise you will never know if they actually see your stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not supposed to send out stuff every single week, but at least if you can see that, okay, it was a year ago since last time I actually sent them stuff. But also Instagram, and specifically Instagram stories, is such a good tool to actually have some sort of knowledge who is watching you.
Oh yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
when you post just a regular Instagram post,
Yeah.
you can only see the people that actually like your picture.
it. Yeah.
But if you post stuff on your stories,
you can see. Yeah.
then all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute, that name seems familiar. And then you check that account, they're like, oh,
They're watching
it's a
me.
publisher. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. And then you know that specific publisher
Has an eye on
make
it, yeah.
children's books maybe. And then, okay, if I do this fake kind of children's book cover and post it and maybe have the proper hashtags or whatever,
Yeah.
because that helped me. Because then all of a sudden they started following me.
Ah.
And all of a sudden, maybe next week, I had a mail in my mailbox and, hey, we saw your stuff on Instagram. Maybe you want to read this manuscript or something. Maybe you're interested. And that is kind of how you need to go, at least as I did.
Dude, that's great tips actually
Yeah.
because that's exactly how I do things on Instagram as well.
That's how I got my Modesty Blaze cover job.
But I
actually.
think it's like a smart way to approach, like draw the things that you want to work with.
Mm.
Like not only, but you're using it in a smart way. You know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, I want these jobs, so I'll just make an effort to create something that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And since you had like a hint that they were watching you as well,
Mm.
perfect. Fucking awesome strategy.
Yeah, man.
Do
Yeah.
that, people. Do that.
No, I mean,
Great
also, but I know that you've been talking about, since you hate doing logo types, you don't do them.
Da-da-da-da.
And that, and I feel the same too, because
Yeah.
basically I just want to work with 2D animation,
Yeah.
just small clips. Not
Yeah.
if someone approached me like, "Hey, can you do this short movie?" No,
Yeah.
but I mean, if they just want to have some sort of smaller kind of clip, maybe with some music in the background or something.
What's a small clip to you?
It
5
depe-
seconds? 15?
I mean, it depends. It depends how you edit it in the end. I mean, right now I will post it probably in a couple of weeks. But I had this commission of making some sort of music video, and the pitch where she asked me, the artist who made the song, said that, hey, she gave me a pitch. And then I felt like, hey, that kind of reminds me of those. Have you seen those things on YouTube, the lo-fi hip hop kind of thing?
Yeah.
There's this girl
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
sitting and writing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
like
watch that
all
all
on-
the time.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think it comes up on like Instagram all the time as well, like lo-fi beats, lo-fi
yeah, exactly.
beats. Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
there's,
have a Spotify.
but there's
as
a
well.
lot
Yeah.
of similar of
But
those
it's a
kind of
Spotify
things.
thing.
And when she told me the pitch, I felt like, well, that kind of reminds me of that. And I was just about to actually just do one of those for myself, just as
really?
just as one
Like
thing.
a continuous loop is what it
Exactly.
is.
And
Like,
now when
yeah.
she approached me, and of course, yeah, that was fun. So I finished it today, actually, this morning.
Oh shit,
Badass.
Yeah.
that's great.
And it reminds me of shit. I had a thing that just
Like every other episode.
every other
Yeah.
episode. So keep going with you.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to know how you got started with the KP thing.
Oh yeah,
really.
shit.
Yeah, but
that's
basically-
a heavy subject.
I
But
mean,
basically, you posted on Instagram, and they saw it, and then replied, sent you an email, I guess.
Yeah.
And was that it?
No, I mean, they already had me in the system just because I sent it out my portfolio to them.
All right.
But
So we're in the system, Elias.
exactly.
I don't think so.
No,
but
but
I like that.
but also
story.
that's it. But that's also one thing that I mean, if you send it out a thing and they never replied, I don't think that's good enough. I think at least they can be polite enough to say,
to reply.
Like,
yeah.
thank you for.
we've
yeah.
seen this because that won't give me any,
reassurance. or
Exactly.
anything.
Of
So-
course.
So I just felt like, hey, just because of spite, I will send you my portfolio again. And just to remind me, I'm here. Look at this.
I'll contact them right now. Like, whatever the fuck I sent you, because I don't remember.
No,
Like,
I
just
really
erase that
don't want to
shit
know,
right now.
honest.
You go into the system. You find this guy. Even if I'm not there, you erase that shit.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
Yeah, but also the thing is that I'm trying to say is that just not wait for people to knock on your door
Yeah.
and give you a job. I mean, you need to be visible and you need to reach out and show
That's
your stuff
really
and
good,
also
dude.
be proud of the things that you do. Because, of course they're going to go, maybe they have some feedback for you, but I mean, that's the way you learn also. I mean, because just go for it. Just go mad bananas.
Yeah.
yeah. We need to move on.
No, we don't.
Yes. About the question to Mattias.
All right. Yes.
So
yeah, we need to do
about
that.
tackling, like, so we know how you got the job
Yeah.
and giving you all hope about like being persistent. You might not have been good enough 2 years ago, but now you're good enough and you can send your portfolio again. Like, hey guys, I sucked 2 years ago, but now I'm awesome.
And
Just
also
give me a job.
always being polite about it.
Yeah, you should always be polite. Listen
yeah,
to this guy because he's like, I don't think there's a nicer person than Mattias. I think like the most evil thing I've heard him say is nothing, basically.
I think he said cock today.
Oh, well, he did say cock, but in a good way. You know, the
Yeah.
good
I mean,
kind of
yeah,
cock.
No, he actually-
the rooster. damn it.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
That's the
rooster.
thing. He
Exactly.
actually
That's the thing.
emphasized that we were talking about roosters and not
But
cocks.
how did you like get into the mindset of doing these like super heavy topics like puberty, because cancer,
all of that.
death,
Oh yeah, no, especially
For kids, by
Yeah,
the way.
but
yeah.
also exactly making them
Relatable for, like, yeah.
yeah. I remember it's such a balance when it comes to how dark you will go to. Because
Yeah.
I remember my first sketch that I did that I sent out. I have this specific the article. There was this mail that a reader sent into KP, Kamrat Posten, and said that my dad have cancer and he will die. He will die probably half a year from now,
Holy
maybe, or quite soon.
within a year.
And the favorite thing that I do with my dad is that we're playing video games with each other and we're just having a good time and we try to have this good time as much as we can.
Yeah.
And for me as an illustrator then it felt like, okay, that is the thing that I want to draw. I want to draw this girl sitting and playing video games with her dad. But also my first sketch was that I saw they were super happy. They had, happy times playing video games, but the dad, he was already on, the heavy medication. So he had, lost his hair and stuff like that. But also in the first sketch, I made it quite dark because then in the doorway, I drew the mom standing there and just looking super concerned because she knew that they are having a great time, but the dad, he will pass away quite soon.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I went quite dark in that one. And my editor, he said that it's super nice, but man, that's dark. Please just tone it down. Just have them having a good time at the sofa instead. So first you go super dark and they're like, okay, I go a bit more scary.
Yeah.
And that's why you have an editor.
Exactly. And that's why you're having
yeah.
an editor. And also I did a cover for that specific.
Before you move on, dude, that fucking kills me. Yeah, just like the daughter playing with her dad.
Yeah.
No.
This is
Mattias.
Getting the
literal
for nothing.
you're getting-
literal
yeah,
Achilles heel.
Yeah,
getting-
holy
of
days.
getting
the
the
Spartan
feels.
in
Yeah.
Sketchbook Heroes.
No, but
fuck
also when it
also
comes
drunk Elias.
Drunk
Yes.
Elias
Yes.
being super sad.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Fine, it's fine.
But-
it's good.
That image was awesome, though.
That was a
right.
great,
Yeah.
that was a great illustration.
Sorry.
But so I did two I did 2 illustrations for it, and then I did the cover. The other illustration was that, I don't know, I just put myself how I would react in a way if I were a kid. Because then I also drew this girl sitting at a table and just drawing a picture because she knew that she is concerned about her mom because her mom is in the hospital right now and she will probably die. So I just made her sitting at a table crying, doing some doodles on the table, writing about her mom, doing some hearts and stuff. On her right side, you're having this scary picture of the hospital, and basically that means death with scary colors and stuff. But it might turn out well, because that was the article about, now I remember, that she would die in the cancer, or the operation, the surgery will go good, and they might go to, having holiday and stuff and having just a happy good time. So then it was just, palm trees and stuff on the right side. So that was the thing. Because I felt that, okay, I will put myself in her situation, and I will just probably kind of just bunker up, sit by myself, maybe just do some doodles or whatever, and that is how I would
deal with it
if I was a kid. And that was the first sketch I did, and I felt like, that's good. I mean, so I can just continue doing that. But when it came to the cover, I really didn't know what to do in one way. But I had this idea that, what about if the kid, you can see a hand of a kid holding the parent's hand in the hospital, because you can see
with the tag and
exactly, and those kind of things.
The IV,
Yeah, and also, I don't know, I felt that, since there was a heavily topic about cancer in that specific episode, or magazine. So then I felt like, okay, what about if the kids have this bracelet with "fuck cancer" on it?
Yeah.
So I just wrote that, but first of all, it's a kids magazine. Is the F-bomb really good on that?
Yeah,
kids love that.
Of course.
And so at first I did that on sketch, and I asked that, is this okay? And like, fuck yeah. Fuck cancer. So like, oh yeah, cool, awesome. Let's do it.
Props to KP.
It's super funny being silly at one moment and then just go super dark. And that's why I really like these kind of works.
Yeah. But you do them so well as well. Like because your style, your artistic medium and the way you present everything is very happy. Like the style you draw stuff is happy and cute, right? Like
I agree.
Not to make it sound like goofy or childish in any way. It's like
it's beautiful.
It's
and
exactly.
Like,
it is, but it brings joy. Like it makes you
emotions.
Exactly.
But
and it's perfect for these types of jobs. Like that's the only. I would never be able to do that.
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't draw positive death.
Like seriously, you could pay me so
dark,
much
dude.
money to do that. I would never be able to nail it the way you did, bro. Like it's so perfect.
But thank you. But I think that also one topic that I feel that right now I feel that I work with the stuff that I actually want to work with, and that is kind of cutesy stuff. Because I don't know, sometimes when it comes to stereotypical things that you're a guy, you're supposed to draw, I don't know, bulldozers and fucking weapons and stuff like that. But
Stereotypes.
I feel like
fuck them.
But there's a lot of people that don't have the courage of actually doing that.
Yeah.
And if you really, really enjoy drawing, cutesy, colorful stuff, do it. Because, I mean, that's how you feel. If you feel positive about it, just go for it.
That's your expression.
Yeah, because I love working out. I love being this like muscly dude, whatever the fuck it is. I can't just like, we've had way too much wine for this.
And a muscle man. Hey,
muscle man. I want to be a muscle man.
Yeah, and I just like, I love that, but I also just want to like show
be
people
pink.
that it's just exactly. It's just I'm a chill dude. The muscle and all that like macho exterior doesn't matter to me, at least, so it shouldn't matter to you as well. You shouldn't judge me by it. That's why my cards are so pink it hurts your eyes.
Indeed.
And they really do. But they're super nice cards. And I think it's really important what you're like sort of doing. Like if you enjoy something, whether it's drawing penises that we've said way too many times on this.
Cocks.
Exactly, shape of cocks.
Pink ones.
And I think it's really important that you just do you. You know what I mean? Like, just
always.
do whatever the fuck you like.
Always.
No matter, like, what people are like, if they're laughing at you, if whatever the fuck it is, like, just keep doing it. If it makes you happy and it isn't super creepy.
Then why the hell are
Yeah.
you so mad?
Yeah.
Sorry, I really need to go piss.
Yeah.
I am super sorry.
Dude, I have the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So should we do like a little
Let's
piss
do
break?
it. We've never done this
Okay.
before. We've never literally
Piss
taken
break.
a piss break.
Piss break.
Piss
Piss
break,
break. But should we pause it or should we
Did
just
you-
let it go? Like,
Did you? No, just
No,
pause it.
I'm
Just press
pausing
the-
it.
Because
No,
I'm pausing
that's,
it.
that's not the pause. That's not the pause.
Because the thing is, if you
That's okay. So
Pink ones.
we are back after the piss break. It was good. It was phenomenal. We
Yes,
also
it
threw
was.
some darts.
I missed.
It was also good. Matthias missed. Everyone's gotten the red sort of bullseye, but Matthias hasn't, so he sucks. But he has a couple attempts after the podcast.
my stapler.
My
Just
da-
one
I-
stapler.
I- I'm
I'm not allowed to go home otherwise.
Yeah,
No.
I need to
that's
stay
a weekly thing. Last time I got the bullseye 4 times.
He fucking did. I am a witness.
I need to
4
brag.
times
Holy
in the red center, dead center bullseye on the fucking dartboard.
amazing.
Yes, it was.
It was actually because I've never I haven't.
I've never hated you as much as then. Seriously. Because that shit is impossible.
Okay,
Yeah,
so to all the
anyways.
young people here, we are plastered on red wine,
Yes.
and we not really, but
But we're artists.
we are
we drink
artistic
red wine.
right
We're
now.
we're feeling good on the red wines.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why we are very
with that
talkative.
said, yeah.
Yeah. Going in, are we?
But how do you feel like? Let's say, because like sometimes when heavy shit like hits us, like drawing or whatever the fuck else we're doing that is like sort of on the creative side, it gets like. Have you ever felt like it's pointless? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh man,
What do you
whatever the
mean?
fuck I'm drawing, it's pointless. Like here we're dealing with life and death,
And I'm
supposed
drawing
to draw,
shit?
doodle shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because sometimes I
dude.
feel that my job is pointless.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it
with you.
isn't,
I'm
but-
with you.
It's just like I'm just drawing imaginary stuff while people are dying out there. You know what I mean?
People
like
are
that.
actually doing something that makes
yeah,
a difference.
that makes a difference in the
and
world.
I'm just
yeah.
sitting here doodling my ass off.
for
Yeah,
money.
but-
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. When I think about the tattoo industry, I mean, I read so many articles and stories about, people getting super emotional about their tattoos because, I mean, you get a tattoo and it's stuck there forever. And
Yeah.
usually it really, I mean, sometimes it's just a funny thing to do. And that's fine. But usually I would say most people having a tattoo, they have something, a story behind it. And you as a tattoo artist that's a great privilege for you to actually put that down with ink on their bodies. Maybe it's just a memory about their, let's say, parents passing away because their favorite bird were a swallow.
Yeah.
And you're making a swallow on their body or whatever.
Yes.
And so in that sense, that's super emotional for them because, I mean, they will keep that thing on their bodies for their whole life.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you made a huge thing today.
And that's why I love my job so much.
Yeah.
Because it sort of transcends the realm of a normal drawing or art piece because it becomes alive when it lands on the skin, and that person brings it with them always. And that is a very, very special thing. But also I can't think of it that way because then I wouldn't be able to do my job. I have to distance myself from that.
From that.
Of course, I'm still going to be sort of like that Miami Ink dude or whatever and ask the questions and like talk about it because it is important and they need to vent when they get it.
And when you ask them the question, you put on some cheesy music in the background.
Oh yeah, always.
I mean, you want to have those tears.
It's really horrible to think about it that way, like because almost like an actor in a way, like you really need to deep dive into this emotion and live it in a way to be able to present it to other people.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't really talk about or think about
I do.
But like, if
I
you
do
need,
that a lot.
if you need to present an image that sort of relates this tragedy,
Yeah.
you need to live that tragedy.
Like
Like
this-
you need to
but-
get into it.
Don't you guys, when you feel low, like I look up sad music, like basically like
Oh, I
I
have.
just want to,
I have the playlist.
because sometimes no, but I create ones that I like, because sometimes when I feel low, I don't want to try to make myself positive. I want to sort of like
Live it. Yeah.
live in that moment, because that low
It's
is the
good.
only way for me to create that high.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like-
yeah. Yeah, that's really, really true.
So I really need to go into that like sadness and just like feel it. And then at some point during that, all that, I'll be like, no more of this. And then I'll,
It
like,
just turns.
it turns automatically, but at some point it just happens.
But
Whereas,
that's a really good point that I don't think anybody really talks about. Like really accept and like
yeah.
go into it.
Remember that
more.
time when I said I was like feeling like I almost felt like super sad, and I sort of like I think I've talked about it on the podcast as well, where I felt like so sad that I wanted to cry, but like nothing happens. But
That's
you
me
feel
every
so-
Monday.
But you feel so sad inside, and I just tried to find a song that was sad enough to sort of like fill that void in me,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't find a sad song that
Yeah.
matched what I was feeling, and that made me so upset that I kept searching for the song as if that was my outlet.
But I have a little
Sorry.
twist on that.
And then the next day it
Oh,
was
sorry.
fine.
Yes,
but
yes. The end credits from The Land Before Time.
Oh my God.
Never that movie. I'm never gonna watch
I'm never
that
going to
movie.
rewatch that fucking
Yeah,
movie.
that,
No, same.
I haven't even introduced it to my. I've never told my kids about this
It
movie.
ruined my
like,
childhood.
It's worse than The Lion King, basically.
It's so fucking
And-
horrible, but it's so good too.
And sorry,
Yeah.
Robert, I interrupted you there.
No,
but
no,
I mean,
You're-
do you remember when we were kids in the late 80s, 90s, whatever? You had those, music cassettes with the books. And I never saw
Matthias, booklets.
booklets.
Even
Okay.
worse than books.
Oh, sure.
Booklets.
I had The Land Before Time in that sense.
Oh,
so
right.
every time I heard that thing and I saw the pictures, I cried. I cried my eyes out. And then years later, I think I were about 9 or 10. That was the first time I saw the movie.
Oh shit! You hadn't even seen the movie?
No, because I
Jesus
knew the
Christ.
thing because I had that, the
Yeah,
music
that-
cassette
yeah.
and the thing. But man, ooh, the feels. I
Yeah,
love it.
that
But I mean,
hurts.
that's the thing. Cartoons that are dark.
Ah, you're talking
Yes,
about
exactly.
like when you hear the chime, it's time to turn the page.
Bling.
Yeah, okay, then never mind. They're not called booklets. They're actual books.
Yeah.
But those were fucking like, dude. Some of them like gave me nightmares.
I was just
because they
gonna
were
say.
so dark in the subject matter.
Sleeping
like,
Beauty.
Is this the
Sleeping
retro?
Beauty
is this
for
the
me.
retro section?
Seriously, Sleeping Beauty is not really that horrible, but just this one really small
Yeah,
section
segment,
when
yeah.
Maleficent comes in and like destroys the party, and it just goes from this happy thing to like this, like it's just this simple little thing. It was so it was so spooky,
Yeah.
and it fucked
I had that same
me
one, yeah.
up. Like yeah,
Actually, that one and the turtles that I had, nightmare fuel. Like,
yeah?
Shredder was like,
Ooh, I
and the
have a-
sun
yeah.
shrinks and shrinks, and I was like,
It's gonna,
about to die.
I'm dying. Yep,
Yeah.
this is it. This
kind of-
is the end.
it's kind of funny because when you see all the producer or whatever, the distributor or the producer
Whatever,
of,
yeah,
of
the
those
people
kind of
behind
things,
it. Yeah,
Monica Forsberg,
yes, Monica Forsberg.
and she worked with all of those kind of books, but she was also
Yeah.
the voice for Chip and Dale in Swedish, and she also was the voice for
That's awesome.
Huey, Lou, and Dewey and all the Swedish dubs for the DuckTales.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
stuff
shit.
Like that. But I mean, when it comes to Swedish dub things, yep.
That's just sounded like
no,
you.
That's but
that was my Donald Duck.
yeah. Anyways, that was just some nerd facts. There we go.
the
So Elias makes the noises. I just ruin them even more.
Oh,
sorry.
Jesus Christ, Thank you.
What
for
were
that,
we
though.
even talking about?
I don't
can't
know.
remember.
Yeah, DuckTales.
Do we have any more questions for Matt?
Yeah, we do have one more. Okay, fuck all this. This is all derailed.
It's all
Yeah.
too dark.
It's already been 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We need to go back into the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We also have retro.
okay, so
And tools.
So Kina asks, even though we maybe didn't answer any of your questions, we're super sorry. And
Cena.
somewhat drunk.
The warrior princess.
Yes.
Exactly.
So Kina asks, like, she just wrote Astrid Lindgren Ghibli.
Oh,
So Astrid Lindgren, for those of you that don't know, is this old lady in Sweden that wrote like these magical stories about Pippi Longstocking and the children at the Buller Bin and
and Emil
and Emil
and
some other like famous Swedish
and
bullshit
that one
stories.
thing that made Christian Bale famous.
Exactly, the
Mio
Mio Min
Mio.
Mio. Oh, Mayo, my Mayo. I don't know what it's
The
called.
brother Lionhearts.
The brothers Lionheart. Yeah, exactly. So Matthias did some
Ronja?
awesome. Yeah, that one as well. And Matthias did some awesome renderings of those like stories in a Ghibli type manner. And we're gonna let him answer this diffuse question or like this like vague question from Kina. That like, what is the idea behind those? Like, why did you sort of combine those two things? Like, it could have been anything basically.
All right. First of all,
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
A bit of heroin too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The good
No,
stuff.
Yeah, just to get
Just
your
to
mind going.
mellow it out. Yeah.
Nah, maybe a soda pop, maybe.
Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst. Sugar.
Hear that,
Yes.
kids? Stay away from sugar.
No, but
Horse.
first of all, first time I saw a Ghibli film, that was in high school, and
Which one?
it was there was some sort of what's it called? What's it called?
Porco Rosso?
No, Spirited
Spirited
Away.
Away,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Before it actually came out here in Sweden, we kind of had this pre-screening of it. So that was cool. It wasn't. We had no idea what we were talking about because they were speaking Japanese, but it was subtitled in Chinese.
Oh, nice.
So
You didn't know Chinese?
no, exactly.
Matthias, you're racist.
No, so the thing is, so
Cock!
Okay, wow.
oh yeah,
This is derailing.
I'm not going to say cock anymore.
no, but so my history when it comes to anime, I only saw a lot of obscure ones from the 70s that were dubbed in Swedish, like Rai Grottpojken.
Yeah, and that like cyborg.
Yes, Cyborg 009 and
man.
those kind of things.
Oh, I know that one.
It's
But-
the dubs are horrible. It's just
Yeah.
one guy
Yeah.
moving his microphone across his desk, and you can actually hear the microphone like scratching on his
Yeah.
desk.
Exactly.
Insane.
Fantastic.
And he's just cursing as well.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "You fucking idiot!" in Swedish, of
Yeah,
course.
that
But
was
"Din jävla idiot!"
Yeah, that was usually the thing. Swedish
Yeah.
dubs, they just went haywire. But no, but the first time I saw a Ghibli film, that was that one, Spirited Away, and I got blown away. I just loved the visuals because it was beautiful, and having this animated movie that in some way it was about nothing in one way because we're so
about
open for
everything,
whatever.
yeah.
So I liked the storytelling to it. And then, of course, I got interested, and I saw My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service,
saw
and
them
all
backwards,
those,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I saw the backwards. I don't know. I just love the 80s look of animated movies, and
Yeah.
especially
but Ghibli's
and
insane,
and also
though.
Japanese animes.
Yeah, it's
And-
such a particular look to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in
And
those days.
you might have seen that also when I do my animations that I put on Instagram. I try to
emulate.
exactly emulate. So I don't want to have that crisp, super clear visuals. I kind of wanted to have this grainy kind of look. So it actually looks like there is some. I wanted to try to make it look like you're watching a VHS
Yeah.
and some sort of.
No,
old
I
thing.
think you get that across.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least for us that know that look, we like, or I at least.
Anyone that
instantly
grew up
recognize
basically
it.
with that type of aesthetic, because everything you watch, like you would rent a movie on VHS and it wouldn't be all that great.
No,
You know,
somebody would have watched it 100 times before you.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And sometimes the tape was like so used that it would sort of like
Maybe even
it would,
have
like,
scratches on it and
flicker on.
shit.
Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would like move a bit upside down before it sort of stabilized,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh, now it's
Exactly.
playing. Yeah,
But
with the
so
noise.
so then I just got interested when it comes to
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli, and because when you see Kiki's delivery service, you notice that those streets, they look like Stockholm and
dude.
Visby, and even signs are written in Swedish.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
I never paid attention to
there's
that.
a hat store where it just says like Carlssons hattaffär.
What
And
the
those kind of things.
fuck?
And then you're like, wait a minute now, what's that all about? And then you see the first time ever where Hayao Miyazaki went abroad from Japan, he went to Stockholm and Visby
What?
because he
Yeah.
wanted to ask permission from Astrid Lindgren to make Pippi Longstocking
Yeah.
as
As
a
a-
featured movie,
No way.
as a Studio
Yep.
Ghibli movie.
Holy shit.
But the thing is that Astrid Lindgren, she were a good friend with Tove Jansson. And Tove Jansson, in the 70s, I think, they tried to make Moomin
Oh,
the
okay.
movie.
for the first time. And
Yeah.
they just destroyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, later in the 90s, it became this most amazing series ever.
It
Yeah,
still
yeah, I
is.
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. But
Moomin.
back in, and that was only because Tove Jansson had more control over it when they did the next attempt.
Yeah.
But so Astrid Lindgren, she was, of course, she said like, nah, not animation, not specifically Japanese animation. I hate it.
Because it's already been ruined.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Fuck.
so then,
Damn you,
so,
Tove
so then
Jansson.
Hayao Miyazaki felt like, okay, that sucks, but I'll do something similar. So he made a series called Panda Go Panda,
Yeah.
which is basically some sort of some crazy mix of Pippi Longstocking and Totoro in the same thing.
Holy shit.
And this was a couple of years before Totoro. But I just feel that, and now later, is it 5 years ago or something, they made actually a Astrid Lindgren, Ronja the Robber's Daughter.
yeah,
into
I
a
haven't
Ghibli.
seen
Yeah,
it.
I've seen that, but I have a hard time
I
with
only
that
seen
one.
parts of it,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Is it yay or nay?
I don't
Like
know.
straight off the bat.
okay,
I
let
think
me. I've seen
most people seem to like it.
seem
I
to
think,
like it. My problem with it is that it isn't pure 2D.
It's 3D.
It's just like this 3D with the paint over thing.
No.
And it's way better than you think.
but
Like
you
in that
still
sense,
notice that
but
it's
there's
3D.
a stiffness to it that I just can't appreciate.
I
And I
can't
think
get
that's
by
a-
the 3D. Like I can't buy it.
yeah.
As soon as I see that, I immediately want to stop
No,
watching.
I'd rather just have the, like, I don't know. There's something missing there, and I don't think like is Miyazaki behind this one because it doesn't.
one?
The Ronja
No,
Roberts
it's
because I don't think
it's
it's his son.
It's
right?
his son, yeah.
Yeah, because he does
Goro.
a lot of the Goro Miyazaki.
Mm.
Because he does a lot of this like 3D 2D thing mix.
No, I think this is the first one.
I don't think it is. Like, didn't they do something else with it as well? But no
Yeah.
matter. Like, for me personally, I have such a like. I'm not against 3D. I love a lot of 3D stuff, but this one, just like for me, it doesn't quite make it into where I'm comfortable. Like, it
But-
doesn't reach me as an artist, at least.
But just maybe skip forward a bit and land to where you got into it and
Yeah,
made it into your thing.
Now the thing, I just felt that history was so inspiring in one sense. Because as a Swedish kid, you grew up with Astrid Lindgren, the movies, that you felt like.
Well,
yeah,
it's your entire childhood.
exactly. And I felt like I want to play with this, I don't know, parallel universe in one sense. That what if?
That's always a good question.
The Studio Ghibli actually made this whole
They actually-
series of Astrid Lindgren movies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so right now, I don't know, I'm playing with two different IPs. I'm playing with Studio Ghibli and Astrid Lindgren. But the specific, what if Studio Ghibli took the design of the Swedish movies and made it into animated?
Yeah, that
Show.
would have been so cool.
And this also for your listeners who like the theme song of Sketchbook Heroes. I reached out to the composer Sebastian Ov,
Yeah.
and
Who
I
is
told
fucking amazing, by the way.
and I told
Thank
them
you, Seb.
and I told them that, hey, I'm kind of planning having this personal. Oh, who?
That
your
was
stomach.
Robert.
Yeah,
always
sorry, it's
Robert.
my stomach.
Like, you must have heard it on the podcast. I've
Every
mentioned it a
episode,
million, like
it's
about
always
this
there.
time.
Sorry, sorry.
No, because because I think the first picture I made with the
Yeah.
Pippi Longstocking picture, I think that's almost 1.5 year old.
Yeah.
but I just want to make something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to have some sort of, I don't know, Kickstarter or something. So I reached out to Sebastian can you do a Studio Ghibli kind of music that I
Yeah.
can use? And
With a PP
he
sort of...
freaking nailed it. It's amazing.
Thank you. I was like, I want this 80s cartoons thing. And he's like, do you mean like this? And I was like, exactly
Yes.
Yeah.
that.
But that also one thing that I wanted to tell you guys. If you have a project, have more people helping out.
Join.
Yeah,
Yeah.
join. Because right now, I just feel like just because Sebastian made this amazing music for my video,
Mm-hmm.
I can let him down. I really want to finish this project.
Yeah.
So that makes me really want to continue doing these Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
Because
that gives you the fire up the ass.
yeah, because I mean
guess.
I don't know. The final thing is that I wanted to make fine prints that I would like to have on my wall. I mean, I'm dipping my toes in doing fan arts, and sometimes people say like, "That's not real thing. You can't do that," but it makes me happy. I want to do it just because I feel like I want to do that scene with Rania being chased by the harpies. I mean,
Yeah.
because I felt that was so scary when you were a kid.
Yes.
And I want to make that as a dramatic,
Haunted me.
but I want to picture that. What if this was a movie from late 80s
Yeah.
and just having it printed
But
on
you
the wall?
also add the like VHS thing to it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, the little like static that comes with it and the
Yeah,
noise. It's
I,
awesome.
I just wanted you guys to hear the song that Sebastian made because it's amazing. But also, kids, the only way to see this is that you join our Discord on
Oh,
Sketchbook
shit,
Heroes,
yeah.
and then
my
you'll
God.
see it.
Matthias is promoting us instead of himself.
How would you find our Discord?
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing I ever seen.
But where do you find it?
Where do you find
Matthias?
it? Where do you find
I
it?
guess you find it on your computer screen.
Yeah, but
Discord.
on the
Where?
Sketchbook Heroes
And maybe
Instagram page.
Instagram. Yes.
I just clicked it. The Sketchbook Heroes thing.
The link. The
The
link.
link.
Yeah, there's a link somewhere. Yeah, put it.
There's a link. So, thank you for the specifics. Everyone's drunk in this room.
Yeah,
Okay, so fuck the questions.
Fuck all of it.
And let's jump straight into the next thing.
The next thing.
Next thing!
Woo!
And we're back, and it's time for tools, and we're all... No, we didn't have enough, like...
We didn't.
And it's just batshit crazy. I don't know, but it was good. And they're having, like, they really squeezed the bag, like the wine bag box thing.
And
Like they've gotten the last wine out
Can't
of the
get
box.
those precious drops to waste.
Yeah, we need to edit this podcast, definitely.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No. I'm just gonna leave it the
I mean,
way.
I like it here. It's a Christmas tree.
Like,
and everything.
you know what
Whatever
this
can
feels
you
like?
ask for?
Hey, you know what this feels like? Like, on the episode where we were allegedly high, this one is definitely worse.
This one is definitely better.
So Robert is drunk enough to think that this is better.
It's so good.
Let's see how this episode plays in
poor-
your ears.
I'm just saying, poor Robert, you're gonna edit this
Robert.
afterward.
I just heard Robert. Robert.
Ready?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we are on tools. Welcome to the tools section.
Toolies!
There you go.
Hey!
Toolies. Even drunk Matt here is on the subject.
He's fucking on point.
Yeah.
So cool. So now
Anyway.
we are on the tools section.
We have
and
so many tools to talk about.
so
really.
many tools. I have nothing. Robert has nothing.
Nothing.
But Matthias has tried something.
I
He
have
has so many
something.
things.
I mean,
Go for it.
at least
Alright.
one thing.
What do you use?
Blender.
Yeah,
Blender.
Blender.
At least I want to learn Blender.
But
Because
you
it's
tried
awesome.
Blender.
I tried Blender. No,
Yeah,
but the
so-
thing is that in the industry, as a 3D game artist, you usually work with Maya,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, to be fair, it's a freaking expensive software.
And also, it's like if you're new to like computer software, it gets very complicated
Yeah.
very fast. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
many menus within.
But it's
menu
like 3ds
within-
Max.
Yeah.
It's the same
But
thing,
3ds
but just
Max
for a
is
Mac.
actually the better one of the two. I
That's
would
the
say.
one that
like,
I learned.
Understanding.
So, but it felt pretty seamless going from 3ds Max to Maya.
Yeah.
Like it was
exactly.
same.
Yeah, I mean, when I started to learn
Yeah.
3D graphics, I also started 3D Max.
So it's just PC versus Mac.
No,
Pretty
not,
much.
I mean,
No,
for-
they're
for
both.
me.
They're on both.
I mean, there's
What?
yeah,
Aren't they?
3ds
Yeah.
Max?
Yeah.
No,
Yep,
wait.
bo-
No.
Both of them are owned by Autodesk.
Yeah, they're both the
So
same.
the thing is that they started out in two different companies, but they
bottom
Autodesk,
up,
they
yeah.
bottom
Oh
up.
shit.
But the thing is that in the industry, most people are using Maya. And Maya, I mean, either if you come to game industry or doing Pixar or DreamWorks work for the animation industry, they usually use Maya. But the problem is that that is an expensive software. And a lot of students, of course, they don't have, they have the money for that. They can, of course, use the student versions of it. But I just learned recently, I think it's 1 year ago, Blender released this new what's called version
Yeah.
2.8, which is the most amazing thing because you can do everything. Model, you can animate, you can render, and you can do stuff for both animated movies and games for free because it's
What?
open
it's
source.
really good.
You can download it, and it's amazing. The problem is that I haven't really tried it out that much. I tried it out a bit. I got super excited because it's both quite easily to understand as a newbie, and it's amazing because it's free. And right now you can see that it's just not a thing that hobby people that are not, just want to learn 3D use. It's actually big animation and game industry use that software right now because the newest version of it is amazing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I don't know, because when it comes to technical things, I can't really explain why it's good, but you work in a game engine when you actually work with stuff. So when you model and you do the stuff in 3D, instead of having this most ugly gray box that you usually work when you do 3D in Maya,
Yeah.
you can work with this most amazing lighting at the same time as you work.
What, so
with
you
the stuff.
actually see it when you are
Yeah,
molding?
Yeah, exactly. You basically
Yeah, you can
see,
just set a light.
Exactly. You
Oh,
basically,
really?
You actually
So
see,
you can
yeah.
set up all the lighting and everything how you think it will look like in the end.
And
it's-
mold it in that
Exactly.
space.
At the same time you work with
Wow.
it, and that helps out so much.
Yeah,
Because
I
then
can
you can,
imagine.
because then you can see the final outcome. Out. This is gonna look
Instead of having
amazing.
to render it
Yeah.
and then,
and then
see
start
the,
lighting. Yeah, because
no,
that was always,
yeah.
or for me at least, because obviously I'm a noob when it comes to 3D stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what we did. We did our models, and then when they were finished, we lit them.
Yeah.
You know, you put lighting on, and
Yeah.
that was the whole different process, and that could take like a whole day.
Exactly.
And sometimes it was just like, well, all of this fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah, and you have
because
to
of
go
the
back,
you
yeah.
can't get the lighting right.
no, exactly.
So that like
Because
just hearing that makes me feel like, fuck. This is now is when I should have started studying.
Yeah.
You know.
Because the thing is that right now at King, I work with the candies that you see on a game board.
Yeah.
And usually when I model them in Maya, it's great, it's just boring, and you push the render button just to see how
how
it actually will look like in the end.
Yeah, and it
But
takes some
when-
time
exactly,
as well.
But when
like-
you're in that actual work area, when you work with it, you have no idea. But
Yeah.
with Blender, you can see that straight away, and
Yeah.
everything is smooth. I have no idea how it works
That's insane.
because my computer at
Yeah,
home,
it's
that's
really
not
good.
that powerful either.
no.
But when you work with Blender, it just works.
so
And-
nice, yeah.
and
what
I
the
would
fuck?
see
Yeah.
that, and you can
Holy
use,
shit.
and you can create those crazy physics when I don't know, when it comes to cloth, when it comes to boxes running around, particles throwing everywhere. I just started with it, but also that is just tips for you guys too, because right now during the COVID-19 crisis, whatever, a lot of sites are having this huge sales.
Yeah, just
Uh,
discounts
And-
everywhere.
Yeah, discounts.
basically,
So
yeah.
there was this course that I bought last week that supposedly cost about $200,
Yeah.
2,000 Swedish crowns.
Yeah.
And now they was 90% off.
What?
And then you felt like, well, no question about it. I buy it
Yeah.
Of course.
because it's this course of, I think,
Of course.
of course, but I think you got, what was it, like 70 hours of video material with tutorials,
Holy
like with
fucking shit.
professional people from the industry, and you can see like, whoa, and you learn everything.
Works.
Yeah. And also as a tip, you can start on YouTube with Blender
Jouer.
Blender Guru.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you learn to make a donut, and that's amazing. That's the only thing you need to learn. But also, I mean,
But also.
but also right now, 2D is coming back. And
Exactly.
also, have you seen the Klaus?
Yeah, that dude.
Which-
that
what?
movie?
Klaus. Yeah,
No. I only started watching it.
Why?
because I mean,
It's a show, isn't it?
no,
it's a
just
movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no,
dude.
I only saw the
No.
beginning part of
You
it.
son of a bitch. The worst part of
no,
it.
because the thing is that
It just
it-
gets so much better.
it's a 2D
That's
movie.
why I stopped.
It's a 2D animated movie, but they used both smart AI algorithms
Yeah.
to know where they were supposed to put shadows and light on the 2D.
On the 2D.
Flat
So it's a
lines.
2D animated movie
Yeah.
that looks almost like a 3D painting.
It looks
What
like
the fuck?
it looks exactly like a 3D movie.
Is
but
it still on Netflix?
It's still on
Yes.
Netflix.
It's
Okay,
a
good.
Netflix. Like
Original.
they bought it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
No,
So it's
but-
gonna be on it.
Yeah.
So
it's not gonna
basically,
be
the thing they did was that they drew the shadows and lighting on one frame,
Yeah.
and then they just skipped a couple of frames, drew it again, and then they let some smart AI software just fill it in the in betweens.
Fuck, that's genius.
So it looks amazing.
It's so
Isn't
good
it
though.
by like what's his name? Todd.
The guy that made,
Nugga.
It's a
No,
Spanish
it's a Spanish
studio.
dude.
Yeah, it's SPA Studios.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Just like the guy who drew
Sergio.
the original design for the Santa dude. I'm pretty sure I follow him on Instagram, and
Pablo. No,
Yeah,
fuck,
something-
I don't remember.
Yes,
but he's got such a fucking awesome illustration style, which is like you just come immediately when you see one of his posts.
Okay, dude.
Like most of the people I follow. So like, yeah, I need to wash my
Sergio
phone
Pablos.
way too
There
much.
you go. I said Pablo.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's something, Pablo.
You said nothing.
I said something.
I said things.
I hear noises, loud noises.
Loud noises.
Yes, I love lamp.
I love lamp too.
This is a pretty lamp.
Thank you. Yes.
And also,
I mean, you don't own it. Why
No,
you-
I just said thank you because you were nice.
Yeah.
I felt like you were
cool.
aiming the compliment to the lamp.
Just
to
look
me.
at the fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah,
all right.
that is a nice grip.
Yeah, there you go. Ice cream.
I mean,
Okay,
I mean,
and
it's
bada bing, bada boom. That wraps up. Bada bing,
Swoosh,
bada boom.
swoosh,
Swoosh, swoosh. Drunk people talking about stuff. Let's move on to the retro.
And we're back.
I think no. I think I'm doing the swoosh right now. This is where I'm doing the swoosh.
Oh,
You son
Yeah,
of a.
there we go.
That was not even our thing. That's not even from the. That was like beyond this magazine thing.
I just wanted to do something.
Dum, dum.
There we go.
It's not even part of this podcast. That's like a fucking children's cartoon in the 90s.
And the funny thing is, I think I've had more water than all
All
of you
y'all?
guys. All y'all.
All
y'all.
y'all.
All
I've
y'all.
had more water than
Yeah.
all y'all. in
So
here.
I'm the sober person right now.
Wow.
I can play that game too.
Dude.
Oh,
this
don't even
episode-
fucking start.
This episode is going to be a clusterfuck of like, wow, that's a good point to like, oh, they say dick a lot.
I mean,
No, we
Like
say
cock.
cock.
Yeah.
I think the theme of the title of this episode will not be Mattias as a guest. It will be just the drunk episode.
Cock, drunk, love. Just, I don't know.
So retro.
So retro.
Retro.
We are here, and
We
we're going
are-
to talk about Mattias's influences on what made him pursue art. So go. They can be comics, movies, books, dicks,
We're-
apparently cocks.
Yeah.
If you, according to
All of it.
Robert.
We're
All
just
of it.
all assuming
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
all
all-
cocks.
The
Yeah.
cockcyclopedia of Robert's.
Where did it start?
Yeah, dude.
Where did it start? When it
So-
comes to our
Like you actually grabbing a pen and start drawing. Like where is the inspiration, the motivation? The beginning.
Oh, basically, my mom and dad, they were owning a gas station back in the late 80s. This was 89 or something. And they were one of the first that rented out VCRs and VHS.
Oh shit! Was it the one where you? Just,
I love that you
press
started
the buttons
with
and the coverage-
VCR and not VHS.
No.
Like rented out VCRs.
No. Yeah.
Like the actual
We had
unit.
one.
Yeah.
Because we did that too in the beginning. We didn't have a VCR in the beginning.
No, we
we
rented
rented
them,
ours
yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
No,
But-
so they had that as a thing. They saw my mom and dad. They were a bit in the front line in that sense, because this was in the middle of nowhere up in north of Sweden. In that village that they lived in back then, it was about 150 people.
Wow.
Maybe lived there, and having a VCR, that was crazy. And people that lived about, or I have no idea when it comes to miles, but 30, about, what's it called? Yeah, 30 Swedish kilometers? No, miles?
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
It was-
30 square.
Kilometers.
Basically,
You lived with
okay,
kilometers.
okay, let's put it in a 4-hour drive. People drove their cars 4 hours to go to my mom and dad's gas station to rent VHS and the VCR station to,
Like you
to
couldn't
watch
just
movies.
rent the tape; you had to rent the VCR
Yeah, the whole
to
thing.
play them.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the thing. People might even, you might not even know what a VCR is.
Yeah, if you're super young,
Like a
This is gonna
VCR is
sound
a
like old
tape
people.
recorder that played movies.
yeah.
exactly.
Imagine like if you've ever heard of a cassette, there were actual like movie cassettes called VHSs that went into a VCR. And it basically opened up like a fucking DeLorean door.
And that's also
Also,
really
a
awesome
reference you might not get. But the VCR opened like a fucking DeLorean door or like a Lamborghini door upwards, and you put the cassette in, and that thing made like a specific sound, like a, and then you put in the tape and like, just closed it. It's insane, but it was an experience.
Yes.
Nah, but basically that kind of kickstarted because both my mom and dad they were movie buffs. So
Just
even
like,
when
movies, yeah.
because even as a kid, I saw Rambo the first time when I was about maybe 6 or 7,
Dude,
and
same.
also
You're
like
same.
Yeah.
The Exorcist and whatever. And
dude, that is horrifying, but yes.
but
Yes.
but instead
That was our lives.
But my mom and dad they told me that if it's scary, just look away.
Yeah.
But this is movie magic. This is not actual blood. That's just fake blood because they do this movie thing, and that kind of kicks. I felt like, oh wow, movies. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that got me interested when it comes to movies. And also, my mom she explained how animated movies were because she paused. All of a sudden, I was watching DuckTales or something, and she just paused it and said like, look at this. This is kind of cool. And then she jumped like frame by frame. And, and
they
just
have this
explained-
button, yeah.
Yeah, and then she actually showed me with a flip, like a what's it called
Flip.
Up-
Yeah, the
take a pu-
remote, yeah,
yeah,
we
fl-
could go like frame by frame, basically.
Yeah,
like,
but,
chick,
yeah,
chick,
but
chick,
yeah, exactly. But then she showed me with a post-it note
Oh,
and like
shit.
a flip,
Yeah,
like a flip
yeah,
book,
yeah.
and like this is how animated movies are made, and that also like blew my mind. And a couple of years ago, I actually teach some kids from my old school what I was working with, and also how animated movies were made. And I showed them like, hey, first of all, I asked them, do you like animated movies? And they're like, yeah, Disney, that's the thing. And then I show them, what about if I saying that today you're actually gonna create some animated movies?
Yeah.
And they just sit there by the desk like, what the fuck? What's going
What
on?
the fuck's he
What-
talking about?
Going on,
I mean,
Grandpa?
this guy is clearly drunk. What's going on?
No, he's on drugs.
Yeah, but
Always.
and then I
Okay.
showed him because I just made this bouncing ball on a post-it note, and I showed them like that, like this, and you can see that in their eyes they were like, "What the fuck? This is clearly a fucking witch. This is black magic going on.
Burn him!
just kill him.
Burn the witch!
But I don't know in that moment, and then I realized, wow, kids are amazing because
You
I mean,
fucking dumb
because the thing is
fucks.
they had no idea. and they got so inspired. Just grabbed post-its, and they just wanted to just create this animated.
That's so fucking cool.
But I mean, yeah, and from that, when my dad showed me violent movies or whatever, just like, wow, movies, that's fucking amazing. I want to create something similar when I
Did
grow
you
up.
feel like you became more violent after your dad showed you violent movies?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
For those dumb
I mean,
fucks that think that's happening.
everyone who knows me knows that I'm the
They-
most
they died.
violent.
Violent.
Yeah,
The most
they've all been
violent
killed.
guy.
by
I
you.
give you witness accounts, but they're all dead.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you stare at me long enough, I mean, I fucking break your nose. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. I'm a gentle kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
friendly.
That's
But
the
dude, do
thing.
you have a specific thing, like a
Or
movie? Like for
movie,
us,
or book?
it's Turtles.
Turtles?
Turtles like really made us like.
It flipped our fucking reality.
Yeah. It just
and
like it was
became
a pivot
our
point
reality.
for us
Yeah.
to like. I'm just gonna draw turtles for the rest of my life, which we didn't, but
I mean, yeah.
basically
Kind
for a
of.
couple of years, and still talking about it. Like episode
we're
94, still
five.
like, did you guys remember that we liked the turtles? Like, yeah, you like you
Yeah,
basically
you remember.
94 episodes, bro.
5.
Yeah. No, the thing is,
95.
when I was a kid,
True.
I only had a public service
Yeah,
channels
public.
in Sweden. I mean, I had it until
You
I
didn't have turtles on public access?
no.
Those
The thing
sons
that
of bitches.
a friend of my dad, though, he had the channel 1000, TV1000.
Ooh, there you go.
So sometimes
Porn.
The porn
and-
channel. That's
exactly.
exactly what I thought of. Which is like the
And-
only thing I remember.
But it was only after midnight.
of course.
Yes.
But
Fucking after midnight. Sorry.
but the thing is that
Ruining your story.
my dad's friend, he recorded Turtles for me. And the thing is that back in the days, this was this was early 90s.
Yeah.
And then TV3 and TV1000, they had this Scandinavian collaboration. Because all of a sudden, I just started to watch these recorded Turtles episodes. And all of a sudden it was Danish. And they were talking Norwegian. All of a sudden they were talking Swedish.
I've never.
And sometimes they were talking English. And like, what the hell? Oh,
That's a thing.
okay, cool.
And
I can go there.
Lazy.
And then of course, Skurt, the annoying
Oh,
frog,
shit.
just
Oh,
came
yeah.
up from nowhere.
Yeah,
I
TV3.
remember those. I watched a lot of
Channel
that.
3. Scoot.
Don't
Yeah.
remember any specifics though.
Oh, it's just a puppet with a hand up his butt.
Yeah, it was this
It's
lady
like,
with
I'm
this
gonna
hand.
present cartoon.
James Bond Jr.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, can
I love
Which
that.
just
Stop
made
him,
every-
The trouble is right.
Don't you think that they made those sort of hosts because they just automatically boosted every cartoon because they were so bad?
I mean, Skurt, he met the Queen every single year.
I
Yeah, he
remember
did.
that,
Yeah, that's true.
I just think
That's
that the
fucking true.
creator of Skurt really wanted to meet the Queen, so
Yeah.
I think that's the reason.
The
Do you think the
really-
Queen had somebody up her butt?
just like make
Like,
Maybe.
when they were. That's why they came back all the time.
Maybe.
Yeah. No. You know, it's like it was a good experience. Maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
Elias is out of this conversation.
So, Scoot.
So Scoot,
No,
you
no.
say?
Now I'm trying to figure out. I mean, mostly for me, it was Disney movies. I
Yeah.
mean, just because I didn't have satellite, so I couldn't see that much of Turtles.
But just like spontaneously, when you think back, the first movie you think of when we say like the first one, like first inspiration.
First love, first everything.
oh, I need to think of this. I'm too drunk for this.
You should be drunk enough for this.
I mean, it was.
I can show you the world.
Oh God, no! I have bad memories about Aladdin.
Shiny, shimmering splendor over, sideways, and under. Something, 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 something. And then Swedish.
Because
I don't
Yeah.
know the English lyrics. I only seen the Swedish.
Dude, I actually saw Aladdin in English in the 6th grade for the first time. And I had already seen it like a million times on VHS in Swedish. You know, the format where you couldn't change the language.
exactly.
You just like, oh, do you want it in Swedish because it's your only option? Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been on karaoke nights and where people want to sing Disney songs. And usually, I mean, all the songs are always on English.
And always super difficult to read.
And like, oh yeah, fuck, I know this song. I don't know this song.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as
Exactly.
it pops up, I think this is international, where you know the Disney songs
Yeah,
in your native language and not the English version.
exactly.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Because it's like, I know Rapunzel, and then like, klockan är 7 och jag kör min första syssla. And you're like, that's not the English version.
What? Wait.
Yeah, what?
I mean,
That's not English.
That day when I learned about Var nöjd med livet ger is bare necessity. I
Oh,
felt
dude,
like,
exactly.
dude,
Oh
my
my God.
mind, dude, my mind exploded. Like
What the fuck is a
bare
necessity?
necessity
Or a
this
bare
nonsense.
bare
It's-
necessity? Like, I'm so confused.
yeah, Baloo, why did you do this to me?
Baloo, you son of a bitch. Yeah, dude, holy shit.
But yeah, so no direct,
No,
spontaneous influence.
no. Right now I think about the Disney. What's it called the Disney time. We call it in Swedish at least.
Yeah,
I mean
the Disney
Dags.
hour.
Okay,
Yeah, the Disney hour. The
so it was
Rescue
basically a
Rangers,
weekend
whatever.
cartoon thing
Yeah.
where they would just air, Disney produced cartoons.
Yeah.
And it was called like the Disney Hour. But
Rescue
in Swedish.
Rangers and what was the slight?
Yeah, I mean it was Rescue Rangers with DuckTales, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, and also Tailspin and stuff like that.
Tailspin. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Shut the fuck up, Lou.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Elias.
I just feel like the guy from
But
The Big Lebowski.
but
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah,
I mean-
yeah, you're Donnie.
But I mean,
Shut the fuck up.
most of the Disney.
Steve Buscemi. What's up, fellow kids?
Okay, but I mean, if we're gonna talk about a movie that really
Influence.
influenced when you
Let's
were a
use
kid,
words.
that's where the Don Bluth ones.
Oh,
I mean,
Don Bluth.
yeah, 'cause I mean-
Holy dicks.
Because I mean, the Disney ones just fun and all.
Yeah.
Just like that's Disney. Oh, cartoons, and then all of a
good.
sudden, fucking the Land Before Time just hit you in the guts like a
Dude.
fucking bulldozer.
No, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't say that it hit you in the gut. I would say that Don Bluth just hit you in the nutsack, like young as you were. He was like, "Hey, kid," and then just kick you in the dick because those movies made you cry. You son of a bitch! Like, oh, let's make kids movies that make you die inside. Thank you, Don Bluth.
Yeah.
And like,
And what was the other one with the rats in the lab?
Oh no.
Something Nim.
Yeah, the Secret of NIMH.
Nim.
Secret
Yeah,
of Nim.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched that so many times as a kid. It's
beautiful
Kept
movie.
renting and renting and renting the fuck out of that
Yeah,
one.
because I mean, back in the 80s, you talk about the director. Do you think the kids will be afraid of this? Yeah, for sure they will, but I mean, that doesn't matter. You just give them some scars for life.
Dude, that was the 80s in general growing up.
Yeah.
My parents, they were like, "Oh, son, you don't need a driver's belt in the back seat. It's safe smoking." I remember our Tiger sofa in the 80s, 90s, early 90s having burn marks of my dad. So exactly, Tiger sofa. Just that sentence alone is a warning flag. But I remember my dad falling asleep with cigarettes in his mouth.
Safe.
Burning the couch. And you were like, Dad, the cigarette on the couch. Like,
like,
that
"Oh."
was the most normal thing. My kids don't even know cigarettes exist, basically. But back then,
insane.
it was like, "Oh, son, don't worry. You don't need a seatbelt in the back. Just have a cigarette." That was just to paint you a picture.
just have a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be safe.
Just stop crying. Here,
have
have a
some.
cigarette. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, but that's actually what
Like
it
on this.
like. But that's what it felt like. That looking back, I remember as a
Oh my
kid
God.
being out to way late,
Yeah.
and my parents wouldn't even wonder where I was.
No. Like, not a fucking shit given.
And the cool thing,
Yeah.
cool thing within bunny ears was
Definitely
the
not
only
cool.
time my parents were like, "Oh, you shouldn't watch this scary movie."
Yeah.
Predator, I think, when Robert was the first sleepover we had. We
Don't
were gonna
blame me.
watch. No. We were having a sleepover. Robert was gonna sleep at my house for the first fucking time
Worst
ever.
breakfast ever, by the way.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up, but.
Still remember that.
Dude, but the worst thing is my mom's like, "Oh no, you're too young to watch this." I'm like, but we just watched like all the things.
Brain dead.
No, but that was at your place.
Peter
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jackson.
But my parents, they were like, oh no, you can't watch Terminator 2 because you're too young, or Predator. And I was like, but we watched basically every other movie where they murder everyone.
But we watched Predator 1 yesterday.
Basically that. And she was like, no. You young boys need to go to bed at like 7. And we weren't allowed to watch Predator. And you're like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. There's no there's no driver's belt. There's no belt in the back seat. What are you doing, Mom? Like, just give me a cigarette.
The fuck up?
Yeah, it made no sense to me in my head as a kid. And also, she wanted Robert to eat cornflakes with oh boy and chocolate milk and heated. I think it was even like warm from the like.
Yes.
I don't know how they heated things back then.
I don't fucking know.
And I remember you being super like, no. This is not something we do.
No, I don't eat this. This is not okay.
Yeah.
But I had to.
Like heated cornflakes with chocolate milk.
Yeah.
I also
and then I left.
It's like, why? Okay, Mom.
But when it comes to violent cartoons when you were kids, I remember because I took a lot of baths when I was a kid. I
Robert
love
still
taking
does
a
that.
bath. Yeah, he still do that.
Every fucking morning.
I love that. I don't have a bath anymore.
In tiny
That fucking
bathtubs.
sucks. But I remember as a kid, I was laying in bath, and my mom all of a sudden she shouted at me from the living room and said that, Mattias, it's a cartoon and movie. Just come and watch. And I went there. It was this English cartoon movie. And it was beautifully made. Well, like, oh, wow, this looked interesting. It was bunnies and everything. It was Watership Down. And man, if you've seen that movie as a kid,
Watership Down sounds so familiar.
You are scarred as a kid. That movie. Because,
check
it started out really good. Just bunnies walking around, talking about and everything. And all of a sudden, they kill each other. And all of a sudden, there's blood everywhere. And all of a sudden, everything's just grim and dark. And
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
motherfucker. Yeah, I remember this one. It's this one.
yeah,
That's the
This one, right?
That's the one I thought it was.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I haven't
mother-
seen the whole thing. I've only
yeah,
seen parts
no,
of it.
It's really good. But
Den långa flykten in Swedish.
There we go.
yeah, it's not the show either. There's a show also.
Yeah,
with-
there's a
with
show.
with a fox and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a different one.
But that's a different one. This is
But
a movie. Yeah.
the same studio who made Watership Down, they also made this other movie about. It's called The Plague Dogs, and I saw that as an adult.
The Play Dogs?
The Plague Dogs.
Plague Dogs.
It basically is
Alright.
about two dogs who lives in a laboratory in Scotland that are, the scientists is doing experiments with the brains or whatever, and also plague, but they flee the facility and they
I've not seen
they are
this
getting
one.
hunted the whole movie.
Fun.
And the thing is that it's just so damn dark and depressive.
And
I
so
mean,
garbagely done.
I saw that movie. I saw that movie when I were. This was like I don't know. I was late 20s when I saw it.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I felt so depressed a month after I saw that movie. It's so depressive.
So you know it's good.
it's really really good, but it's sad as fuck.
God damn.
Jeez, but I mean,
Don Bluth
Let's
was magical as a kid,
let's
dude.
fast forward and talk about your influences today. Then, like, what is your sort of? You're at home. You're sick.
Yeah.
What's your go-to movie?
oh, my go-to movie.
Yeah, even animated or whatever.
Oh, I haven't finished Gravity Falls yet. I really want to finish that one.
Oh yeah.
And also,
yeah.
I haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender or Korra yet, and I really want to.
What? Mattias.
And right now,
Either of the shows?
no, I haven't, and I really want it because everyone is.
Why did I
so
invite
good.
you?
What the fuck?
I know.
Fuck you, Filippo, for
But-
this.
Holy shit.
Right now, though, I really enjoyed One Punch Man,
Fuck yeah.
and
The first season or
so-
second one?
the first
Because
one.
I've only seen
The first one. The
Yeah.
second one is,
yeah, I know.
but
It's so sad.
But right now, instead, just because of the studio who made the first season, they went working on Psycho Mob 900,
Yeah, bro.
3000,
I
something.
have no
Psycho
idea.
Mob
I
something
haven't
something.
I haven't seen it.
But ooh, do it. I just watching it right now.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking hilarious, and it's good animated too. It's having the same quality as the first season of.
Of One Punch.
Are we talking
Yeah.
about the crazy scenes where they have the fights?
I mean, yeah, I mean,
like, it's so over the top, awesome.
no, but at first though, the storytelling is great. It's hilarious. It's more fun than One Punch Man, but also the animation is good. And and just for the fun of it, just because people are talking about JoJo Bizarre Adventure, I started to watch that. Basically, that is just a parody of all the anime you can find. It's having the most hilarious poses all the time. It just looks fucking idiotic, but it's kind of
I've only seen like the first 1-2 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's so serious, and like with the dog and all of that shit in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so horrible,
yeah.
and it made me not want to watch the show.
nah, but it-
everybody
Wait, which one
has
is this? The
JoJo.
JoJo Bizarre
JoJo's
Adventure.
Bizarre
But-
Adventures.
But the thing is
I've
that
been
it's
recommended to watch
basically
it, but
it's a show that doesn't take itself seriously. It's it's kind of ugly.
But it's
I,
one of those.
I don't really know why I'm watching it, but you're still engaged. You
Dude,
want,
it's
you kind of want to know what's going on, what's happening.
if you-
it's like
you
me
look
and
at-
Scissor 7, basically.
If you look
I
at
have
a
no
top
idea why.
10 list of like the most influential or like the biggest anime shows
yeah,
of all time, JoJo is going to be on that list.
But where can you see
But-
this?
On Netflix
Netflix.
now.
On
Yeah.
Netflix.
It just got
what was it called? JoJo Bizarre.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit.
that's also one thing that I got super inspired of when it comes to 2D animation and shows in particular on TV right now, or on Netflix or
Yeah.
HBO, that they're not afraid of going into really deep topics. I mean, when we were kids,
Yeah.
we were DuckTales, and
Yeah.
I mean, there was more like, there's an adventure, and everything was kind of safe. But
Yeah,
now
yeah,
they're
yeah.
actually not that afraid of just deeping
No,
their
dude.
toes into something really serious stuff.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. So, more questions to you, Maddie.
Oh, really?
Because you are a kid of the 80s,
Yes.
like us.
Yes.
And you feel at home right here against the Christmas tree in fucking June.
That's amazing, though.
I want to know, this personal question, your favorite 80s action movie?
80s action movies.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to 80s action movies, I just remember that wait, this is not 80s. I mean,
Because you obviously watched a lot of these shitty
Yeah,
movies
yeah,
and got
yeah.
to watch them with your parents.
yeah, exactly. My dad. The thing is, my dad, he was this huge Clint Eastwood fan,
Oh,
and
Dirty Harry?
specifically Dirty Harry. And we
yes.
saw, but it was both Dirty Harry. Right now, I can't really remember that much of it, except
Yeah.
from
The Deadpool.
the specific scenes of your
Jim Carrey.
punk or whatever. But also was Charles Bronson, the
Oh.
that funny looking
remember
guy
that,
with the
yeah.
mustache,
Yep.
Yeah,
always having his vengeance of guys who killed his wife or whatever.
What was that movie series called?
I remember it was kind of a cheesy name. Well,
yes.
let's have a look
They
at it.
they did a remake just
Yeah, they did.
with Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bronson.
Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson. John Bronson.
Oh
Oh
my-
my dad rope.
Exactly.
Just-
Yes, exactly.
Isn't it something with death?
Yeah. Oh,
Wait, let's
man.
see. Okay, let's,
Yeah,
I
let's-
Google it. Let's
Yeah,
he did
Google
a
help.
million
Help us, Google.
help us Google.
Google.
Okay.
Let's see if I can like last minute figure it out.
Oh, Death Wish.
Yeah,
Death Wish.
there you go.
Death Wish.
There
yeah,
you
that's
go.
the thing.
Death Wish, wasn't that Kevin Bacon?
No,
Oh, that's a
he did a different
Death
thing.
Note?
No,
No,
it was still I think Death Wish.
yeah, Death Wish, but that's from
That was-
1974. But it was a lot of different sequels to it too. I think there was not
Like
only one.
4. I think there were 4 movies or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
I
with
mean,
Charles Bronson.
I don't know. My dad, he loved those kind of movies, and we saw Escape from Alcatraz and stuff like that. I mean,
that one is epic.
I actually rewatched it 3 weeks ago because it's on.
Is it still on Netflix?
I think it's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Because it's been on my list forever, and I
Yeah,
started
dude, I
watching.
thought about it
I
as well, 'cause
rewatched
I
it.
remember
It's an
it
amazing
so
movie.
weekly.
That's where they do the plaster
Yeah,
heads.
yeah, exactly.
And stuff.
No, it's that
Yeah.
thing. But I mean,
Iconic.
but of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger and me, my brother, my cousin, and my Because
Yeah.
I always hang around with my older brother. He's 2
Cool.
years older than me. And we rented all the movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven
Yes.
Seagal. You know,
Yeah.
Under
Fuck yes.
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Yeah,
Yes.
Epic with
So-
there you go.
So I mean, we went all action movies when it comes to like shitty action movies. No, it's a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Van Damme,
kickboxer.
Yeah, kickboxer.
Target.
Nah, but I mean that's the era. That's the thing that I have the fondest memories of. You know, my dad like, yeah, I'm gonna watch some Dirty Harry, Charles Bronson.
That's a
The-
terrible name if it came now. Like,
Dirty
Let's make
Harry.
a movie called Dirty Harry.
It's like President Trump.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, of course, all the
Howard!
and of course all the westerns with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like seriously all the movies that they kind of reference in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino one, where Leo DiCaprio becomes Clint Eastwood going into the Western genre. Like it's just such a big homage to Clint Eastwood,
it's
I think.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I love that
so
movie.
good. Yes.
I remember when I watched that movie on release date here in Sweden.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sat there. I loved every single second of it. And when it finished and we walked out of the cinema, I heard everyone in that room. They're like, "Man, that movie sucked. It was so long." Yeah, they hated it because they felt like nothing happened. And like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was amazing.
It was the total opposite when I went out. I saw it in Australia, in Sydney. And I went for like the biggest, the most luxurious thing I could find. Gold class cinema tickets. It was amazing. Where they come and serve you drinks at the cinema and shit. Like, it was amazing. But everybody walking out of that show was like, holy shit. We just witnessed like a shift in movie history. Like everybody just got it. And I was one of them. And I was just like, this was beautiful. And then it just grows on you like one of those fine wines. It's just so good. Like when you go back and rewatch it, and especially if you start like researching a little bit more about the process of making it and all that.
And also the story about Charles Manson and stuff also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just the way like that's become his thing now, that he just turns history on its head and makes his own history. Like it's so fucking good.
Just add a flamethrower.
Yeah,
It's gonna be-
exactly.
Everything goes good.
Like, how do you make it so cheesy that it is brilliant? Like, it's man. Like,
Have you
Tarantino is.
Have you
the
seen
god.
it, Elias?
Which one? I'm sorry, I didn't
Once
even
upon
catch.
no,
Once upon a
you-
time
no,
in
I mean,
Hollywood.
Yeah, no, I
you're-
haven't seen it. I've had it on my watch list,
I mean,
and I saw that it came out on like you can rent it, but I haven't seen it.
It's been out for ages. Ages.
it almost looked like you're falling asleep.
Yes.
No, I was just listening to you guys, and then I was like,
Our
what
soothing
movie did
voices.
Yeah, exactly. But then I was like, they didn't say Hateful Eight, and it doesn't sound anything close to Hateful Eight. I was like, are we still on the same subject that they were? Like, oh shit, Once Upon a Time. Yep, cool. Yep. But no, I haven't seen it. Like, it's been on my list of things to watch just because of the controversy, like regarding Bruce Lee. And like, oh, they portrayed him. This movie's not historically like. Dude, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Just let it go.
And it was never
Go
biographical.
frozen on
like,
that bitch.
yeah, like,
for sure. God.
oh my god.
Jesus.
Like, if we're gonna, like, every time you try to make something, like, this is not a historical movie in that sense, you know? It's a Tarantino movie. It's like trying to make Kill Bill realistic. Motherfuckers. Like, just like some things, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about making it realistic. It's about making entertainment. And I think people sort of lose their marbles and their shits about these things. Like I'm totally for all this stuff. Like, I love that you're trying to, like, sort of, like, bring out, like, feminism or, you know, like, make trans, like, more acceptable and just make it part of a storyline, whatever the fuck the thing is.
If it works, it works.
Yeah,
Like,
but when you
who
shove
gives
it...
a shit if it's a boy or a girl or if something in
That's
between?
the thing.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyone that's balanced human being won't give a fuck about all that stuff. It's just like, okay, people with other preferences than my own are doing things that I don't really care. It's like, oh, I'm from Greece. I'm like, yeah, and I don't care. Like, you could be from wherever. Like, it makes no difference. If you're a nice person, you're a nice person. But when you make things like this, it's just for entertainment. And when you shove it in people's face, whether it's veganism or feminism, people go the exact opposite when you shove it in your face.
Yeah.
And you don't make it part. Like, the story is no longer the thing that you're like trying to push.
No, you're focusing on
yeah.
something different. You're
Exactly.
focusing on like the ideal,
the ideology
of,
of the thing you're like, but you're losing your movie basically, and that's why I hate episode 7 and 8, because Ryan Johnson's like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna do the J.J. Abrams thing. I'm gonna make a lightsaber mic drop, and that ruins. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just like little things like that can ruin a whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just take the mantle over and then make the story, instead of going against the other guy, why don't you turn it into a win for you?
Yeah.
Now I hate you.
Exactly.
And you're not a bad guy.
No.
I just hate you because instead of focusing on the movie, you tried to go against J.J. Abrams, which I don't have a lot of love for in any sense. Like, he's made some good movies, he's made some shit. But why are you shoving your personal either propaganda or anything else into people's faces?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not about the movie anymore. It's not about entertainment. It's about your pride or your personal preferences that you feel are important to me.
Yeah.
No, I just want to see a movie. And if the protagonist is trans or not, that makes no big difference. Like, I think it's cool that you do it and you make it seamless.
Yeah.
But when you try to shove it down my throat and like,
I'm gonna hate you for it.
Yeah, and you make all the trans people in a movie strong and everyone else weak, then that makes your propaganda, like...
Then you're pushing it to one side.
Yeah.
And you're going against what you're trying
Just
to do.
stick with the main
in that
character
sense.
being awesome and then focus on the awesomeness. But they also have this thing, the gender thing. But that's not the agenda you're pushing. It's there, and it's supported throughout the movie, but you're not like...
But it's not their whole personality.
Exactly. They are not transgender. That is not what defines them entirely. Yeah, and I think that's like... I think it's awesome that people make the effort to like bring these things to the surface. Cool, Matthias. Go pee, my brother, from another mother. So Matthias gave up and took another pee break. Although
he didn't take
pee in the
another.
first one,
He took a pee break.
A pee break.
After
you weak son of a bitch.
3 hours of
podcast.
Just fucking drinking.
This
and
might be the this might go
gonna be
down in history.
one of the longest
One of the
episodes.
longest episodes out of 94.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, there's
how
a
I
lot
edit this.
of editing. But the cool thing about your characters is that they're not defined by one trait.
No.
It's really important to just make them, like whatever your movie or whatever story you're telling, if you stick with the story, that should be your major concern.
If it's a strong character, it doesn't matter what gender or non-gender it is.
And if you specify the gender, that's cool. Just don't make it all about the gender.
Exactly.
Like, the one gender is awesome. Like,
and I think that is the problem of this new Last of Us game. Like, they focus too much on that, and
That's
that
the
became the story instead of doing the story.
The thing is, here with the Last of Us thing,
but again, I don't
haven't.
know.
No, but the thing is, I don't know what the conflict is because
No.
I've avoided everything about Last of Us 2 because I haven't played the first one either. Like, beyond the 30%.
And you want, like me, you don't want it spoiled.
Yeah, I
again.
don't want it. I don't want to know that much. I've
No.
seen the first cinematic trailer
Exactly.
with the
That's all you
dancing
needed.
and the thing.
Yeah.
And she has a girlfriend, and I don't care more
And
than
I saw the
think
first
it's-
gameplay sort of tease as well.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there is a story told there that goes like beyond, but the characters have whatever sexuality they have, and that is fine, and then crazy people will do crazy shit,
Of
like,
course.
oh, I have opinions, and I don't care. And you can have your opinions. That's great for you. Enjoy them. But I just don't want it, like that to be the focus of the game.
No.
Like, I love that it's there as a supporting thing, showing that it's normal to have whatever feelings towards whatever person you enjoy, love.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like, I love that it's there, but I don't want it to be just the sole purpose. That's why I didn't like Star Wars, the eighth one, because, like, I love strong women.
Yeah.
But you can't just like, oh, all women are strong. And I had this discussion on Discord, and someone actually, like, one of the female, like, one of the people that was on the Discord basically said, like, oh, well, it's nice to have a movie where all the female characters are strong because there are so many male ones. And I get that. Like, I totally get that.
That is
but
the new...
But
like,
I don't enjoy movies where all the dudes are awesome.
No.
Like, whatever the fuck. What is that movie? Expendables.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all my favorite action heroes from when I was a kid are in it. Is it a good movie? No, it's dog shit. Like, I'd rather lick my own shit, basically. This is...
Because you know where that came from.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's safe.
And no, but I'm just saying that...
I mean,
like,
you already ate it once. I mean,
there
how
you go.
bad can it be?
Exactly.
That's it. Like, I don't know. I've said this so many times now. I am drunk. You just cut to that. Like, Ilya says a lot of things, and just do cool movies. Enjoy the positive stuff. Don't focus on the negatives. You're welcome. Fuck this shit. I am drunk. But
I don't have any other real serious questions for Maddie. Do you have anything you want to add, Maddie?
Yeah, do you want to plug your stuff?
What has this experience been like for you? Do you feel like you are enlightened now? And do you feel like a new person? Maybe even a butterfly coming out of your shell and now
Wow,
I mean, once I
ready
came,
for life?
I mean, I came in as a caterpillar, ugly as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Became a cocoon,
Yeah.
and now I'm a beautiful butterfly.
A cocoon?
I'm still
Is that what
waiting
you-
Cocoon, yeah, that's the thing.
Hey,
that I
if
give
I'm
out.
gonna
We're
judge
talking so much
anything-
toxin
Seriously,
to-
Elias. Oh my God, that's so inappropriate.
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, how do you
dare
use
you?
the word cock in podcast?
No,
I'm
no.
so
Serious,
appalled.
serious notes. I think this was really fun. It was really, really fun. I was
We-
I was nervous at first, but I mean, the thing is that I'm just sitting here
Cocaine's
with
a hell of
all
a drug.
friends. We're having a whole box of wine, and that sure helps.
And cocaine always helps.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs, but cocaine does help.
No, it's been fucking a blast having you here,
Yeah,
bro.
it was fun.
It's been so natural too, and just sitting here.
It's so natural being drunk with you. That
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
amazing.
it's so easy.
So easy.
One of the best episodes ever.
Oh my god,
Yes,
yeah, dude,
yes.
I am so worried. Like, if you're gonna have like an afterword on this episode, I'm so worried for you about cutting this because it's been a total like,
It's
like,
gonna take
it's gone
me so
from-
long.
dude. We've gone from cock to like, oh, when you death.
Yeah,
Mattias,
yeah.
how did you deal with these heavy subjects? Cock. And then just
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear how it sounds like when you're editing this thing. I mean, we're starting out recently be sober.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
it
then all of a
was
sudden,
okay,
like,
yeah.
later on.
We
And
just-
then Ilya's like, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Repeat, motherfucker.
So this is gonna be such a blast
So-
to edit. I'm gonna have so
So
much
we've never had alcohol in this sense. Like, it's not even much, to be honest.
fun. No, like,
But more than we've ever had. We almost tipped the table. And we've said things
that
louder.
nobody should
yeah.
ever say.
No, sorry, I'm just coming and ruin you guys.
No, no.
You've been all professional. Like, I bought a box
Hey,
of wine.
we
I
Like,
managed-
blame Discord.
Yeah.
but
This
also,
is- this was
94
not-
episodes of proper podcasting
Exactly. We need
within
the
bunny
one.
ears.
We
yeah.
need the one that's not.
yeah, but I mean, I promise you guys. I already said
Drunk-
that when I come here, I'll bring wine.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
this
what
is
I
going to
said.
be
And
the
so you did.
Yeah,
the art
we
of
are not disappointed.
the art of drunk with Mattias Andersson.
There you go.
That
There
is
we
the
go.
episode
That's
name
it.
of this episode.
That is it.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's been a blast, and I had a great time finishing that
That bottle
box of wine.
But we now need
No.
to get back to like like for those listening, like we really need to get back. Like we need to get back to the dartboard
Yeah.
so we can go home because Mattias hasn't hit the middle yet.
Fuck it.
No.
And
exactly.
I think the last train leaves in about an hour.
Yeah, I also need to get home.
Yeah, same here.
So you have work to do, Mattias.
Yeah.
You need to get that dart into the bullseye
That's it.
so we can all leave, y'all.
And then
Y'all.
yeah.
So you go out there
Yep.
like
You
in
start
about
doing
10
it. Yeah,
seconds.
I'll go there
Any
right
last words for
Where can they
everybody out
find you? Like
I mean,
for
my-
Robin and Thomas
All right,
and
okay. My
Moa.
social media commercial. Let's go on the ads.
Let's do it.
Let's
Promote
do it.
yourself.
But I mean, my Instagram is basically where I am all the time. It's Mattias_Andersson_art. So Mattias Andersson art.
Double T on the Mattias.
Yeah.
Andersson, double S.
And also for all of you who haven't joined the Discord, I'm also there, posting some stuff and just talk shit.
Yeah,
with
he's
all
called
these guys.
Hundrunk.
on.
Matt Drew.
I did
I
that.
mean, who did that?
I
Who did
wonder. I wonder who called me
so
that.
fucking insecure.
No.
Like immature.
I'm actually wondering who did that. Who
I
did it?
wonder who
I-
did
I-
that.
I-
Who has
I-
godlike
I-
powers
I-
on this forum
I
and
guess
can
we're
change
looking at it
everyone's
like that.
name
It's so
like
weird.
on a whim?
Yeah, I have no
And
I
idea.
think
has
you guys
a
can do
great
it too,
sense
though.
of humor also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, yes,
Yeah.
and handsome Greek and
And-
Zeus. Like, yeah. I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
And with
Let's
all of that
just-
mumbling said, thank you so
Yeah.
fucking much, Matt.
Dude,
for
thank you
coming
so
in.
much.
you
So
guys.
you can do that from us to you.
from all of us to all
Okay,
of
you apparently
Merry,
have not.
Merry
You
Christmas.
shut your mouth.
Yeah,
Mattias.
shut your
You're not.
fucking mouth. From all of us to all of you.
A Merry
fuck you.
Christmas and Christmas Eve.
Yeah, fuck all you. Thank
All
you,
y'all.
love you,
Fuck all
and
y'all.
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Let's get it!